Huddersfield Town began their climb back up the Football League pyramid, winning promotion from the old Division 3. Saturday 26th of May 2012, Town returns to the Championship. Come Monday 29th of May 2007 be the day Huddersfield Town returns to the top flight of English football after a 45-year wait, and then promotion to the Premier League for the first time in their history. Full commentary here on BBC Radio Leeds, DAB 92.4 FM and Freeview TV channel 719 with Matt Glennon and Paul Ogden.
And suddenly, this is it. In sporting terms, a life changer. The winner between Huddersfield Town and Reading here at Wembley earns themselves a place in the Premier League and instant worldwide recognition. Reading kick us off, defending the left-hand end of Wembley, the eastern end as we look at it. Reading in blue and white hoops, blue shorts, blue and white hoop socks. Huddersfield Town defending the right-hand end of the ground in fluoro yellow hoops with black. Offside against Reading on their first possession. And Town looks so ready for this. The most important game in the history.
Yeah, and with, say, the way Huddersfield Town play the gegenpress in the high energy, if every single player is today that up for it, that fit, that ready to go, then it's going to be really hyper ready to live with them.
A wonderful surge of emotion and wild affection from the Huddersfield Town fans at the western end of Wembley as Huddersfield Town take possession of the ball for the first time. Tommy Smith, Izzy Brown look on as Danny Ward drives the ball into the distance and into the Reading half. It's not wide and then over the top by Tommy Smith into the bottom pocket of Reading's half. It'll be a Reading throw-in, level with the left edge of their own penalty area. And still, the deafening anthems from the Huddersfield Town support here at Wembley continue.
They've come to enjoy themselves. They've come to cap off what's been an amazing year, and they're going to enjoy this.
Town in their bright fluoro and black hoop kit, black shorts and black socks, attacking from right to left in this first half of the Championship playoff final. Another Reading throw-in which Tyler Blackett will take down their left-hand side, the far side of the ground. Michael Haefler against Lewis Graben for the first time. Graben backs in to Haefler. The two of them clash off the ball. The free kick's already been given to Huddersfield Town.
So Haefler's so clever with that, because he's got hold of the Reading player there and he's sort of dragged him down with him, but he makes it look the other way around. He does that superbly well.
The Huddersfield Town players can hardly make themselves heard on the field, such is the noise from their own fans in Wembley. Haefler's free kick sent forward over the top and too far for Nike Wells. Some of his teammates actually wanted it switching in a different direction. Reading get the goal kick, and it's been a tentative first 2 minutes from both teams.
Yeah, a few of his teammates weren't quite happy with Haefler there. Maybe he thinks it was the right pass, but he's not executed it properly, so it was the wrong pass. But you don't want to give him the ball away too much and letting Reading have too much possession.
Reading's goal kick taken by Al-Habsi, miscontrolled by Gunter and Town are on it through Lerber. Their first attack now inside Reading territory. Naki Wells comes to help the midfield out. Brown and now Smith moves it slick down the right-hand side for Kachunga to work with, and Tommy Smith will keep the pressure on Reading's defenders. He's trying to win a corner. He thinks he has won a corner. The assistant referee on the far side disagrees, and it's a Reading goal kick taken by the man from Oman, Ali Al-Habsi, a cult hero at Reading, and he literally single-handedly got him into the final with a wonderful performance against Fulham in the semi. Now Al-Habsi's under pressure from Rajiv van der Parra. Great work by Town's Flying Dutchman. He's forced the error from Al-Habsi's clearance, and the ball's gone clean out of play for a Huddersfield Town throw-in, level with the right edge of the Reading penalty area. Kachunga hooks the ball high into the Reading penalty area. It's too far across field for Rajiv van der Parra, and he is then dragged down as he tries to retrieve it. Gunter is the culprit in the Reading shirt, and this is a very confident, aggressive start by Huddersfield Town in their first ever Championship playoff final. 0-0 after 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's good work from Van der Parra to not give up the cross from Kachunga. Let's see now if Moyes got his range early doors, start whipping those balls into the box, which we know he can do.
Huddersfield Town on the front foot at Wembley inside 5 minutes. Free kick, wide left. Aaron Moyes going to swing it in right-footed. Elias Kachunga's making a nuisance of himself behind the one-man wall, which now becomes two with Swift joining Graben. Reading look nervous. Here comes Aaron Moy, far post, header downwards, Haefele just wide, and Haefele got up before the Reading defenders realised what was happening. Goal kick and a real warning for Reading.
Well, we can say that Moyes definitely got his eye in straight away. That's a fantastic ball. Al-Habsi can't come for it, but I think Haefele knows there that was a real chance to open the scoring.
Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0. And we have already got exactly what we hoped David Wagner's men would come up with. The best version of themselves. Aggressive, cheeky, inventive. 5.5 minutes gone. Al-Habsi clears. Haefele now at the defensive end of the field. Side puts a pass up towards Izzy Brown. But now they've left Graben all alone down the left-hand side. Williams in the box. Graben crosses deep. Kermorgant's beaten to it by Aaron Moy, and now Town challenge for it. It's towed away by Tommy Smith, collected by Moore, but he can't find a teammate, and Huddersfield Town bring it away from their own penalty area. Roared on by the Town fans. Naki Wells takes them on. Wells all alone, edge of the box. He runs down the blind alley, but keeps it at his feet. Finds Rajiv Van der Parra, and Town are on the front foot again. Van der Parra jinks and wins a corner. Off Gunter, panting, backpedaling, and Reading looked disjointed to me.
Yeah. 0-0. And that's to do with Huddersfield Town's pressing and getting forward. Great work from Naki Wells to get into that corner, but Van der Parra superb. Didn't dwell on the ball, tried to get his cross in.
Raw aggression in the opening 6 minutes of the playoff final from Huddersfield Town. A second corner already. Aaron Moy delivers Town's corner from the left-hand side. Right-footed, it's headed away by Kermorgant, the striker, and this time there's no challenge from Town.
Yeah, I think one more inch, and that was a superb ball. He just didn't beat the first man, but he's making good connection with the ball today, Moy, already.
It has gone clean out of play on the far side as we look at it. The Town right. Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0. And the Town fans are loving what they're seeing from their team. Smith's throw-in taken down by Aaron Moy. Here's Izzy Brown. Brown takes it towards the penalty area, finds Wells, who traps and turns. Off balance. Foul, maybe, by Vandenberg, but the referee says play on. The clearance eaten up by Christopher Schindler at the back, and he quickly connects with his fellow German Löwe. Van der Parra ships it down the left-hand side, but Löwe's not going to keep that in play. It's a goal kick, though some Town fans think it's a corner. The pass was slightly overhit this time from Van der Parra. And Reading, in the blue and white hoops, need a chance to gather their thoughts by the look of things.
Yeah, Huddersfield just to stay on them, keep them heavy breathing, these Reading players. The extra pressure you're under anyway, so we've got to keep on the attack. And again from Van der Parra, although his pass was overhit, he did it early. He made a good early decision. Just unfortunately Löwe couldn't get there.
Off the field, it's no contest in terms of noise levels. When the Town go marching in, echoes around Wembley. As Rajiv Van der Parra forces another error from Ali Al-Habsi. This time he's at least reached halfway nearly, but the ball's gone out for Huddersfield Town's throwing down the left-hand side.
Yeah, just on that, okay, the Reading fans are actually sat on the hands. They're not making any sort of noise, movement at all. Have they come to enjoy themselves a great day out, or come to moan their way through the game?
Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. BBC Radio Leeds live inside Wembley for the match, worth 170 million quid minimum, and the Premier League place to the winner. Joey Vandenberg of Reading tackles Rajiv Van der Parra of Huddersfield Town, and now Gunter has the ball taken off him by the same Town player. Wonderful switch of feet by Van der Parra, who's had a brilliant opening 9 minutes. And now Town work it from left to right. Hapeler finds Captain Smith. Smith releases Kachunga for the first time. Kachunga pushes it round Van den Berg. Tommy Smith arrives in support. He stumbles, regains his feet, finds Kachunga. Chance for Town. Goal, it's missed. They put it wide at the far post. Izzy Brown maybe took his eye off the ball as Kachunga served it up. It fizzed across the face of goal, and somehow it didn't find the back of the net.
Well, we're 10 minutes in. They should be 2-0 up. Great start to the game by Town. But what do we say about chances? You've got to take your chances. This hopefully will not come back to bite them later on, because now when you are on top, you're having your spell, which Reading will have later on. You've got to take them chances. But wow, absolutely superb start by Huddersfield Town.
Izzy Brown appears to have shinned the ball wide, less than a yard from goal. Graben gets away from Christopher Schindler. Graben's shot is wide. Danny Ward had it covered at full stretch, but it was worth diving for because Lewis Graben had a yard on Schindler. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0 after 10 thrilling minutes. Catherine Hanna's behind the benches.
Yeah, and to a man, everybody on the bench stood up, head in hands. They cannot believe that has not gone in. The players not playing today just behind me as well, shaking their heads. How has he missed that? But overall, David Wagner by far the happier of the two head coaches. Lots of applause, lots of nodding. He's very happy with what he's seen from his Town players so far, Oggy.
Lovely skill from Chris Lerver to bring the ball down on the volley and run from Danny Ward's clearance. He carries it into Reading's half, and then it's taken off him by Ilori, the Reading covering defender. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0, and David Wagner, the head coach of Huddersfield's, right to look happy, because he barely looked this smart on his wedding day. Fantastic suit. Not something we often see on a match day from the Town head coach, but he looks the part. Jaap Stam bouncing up and down on the edge of his technical area in shirt sleeves, and he watches his team in blue and white hoops. Reading playing the ball across the halfway line. Van den Berg chips it to find Graben, who Town are not tracking perfectly so far. Swift, ex-Chelsea, moves it right. Here's Ilori joining the attack. Danny Williams works it to the right flank, and Chris Gunter, the Welsh skipper, closed down by Chris Lerver of Huddersfield Town. Ilori pings it forward, but straight to Jonathan Hogg. Hogg read it like a book and brings it away, and now needs a runner down the left. It's Rajiv Van der Parra. A quick switch of feet again, and now Van der Parra's on the run to take a second return ball from Jonathan Hogg. Hogg's overhit the pass, but Van der Parra looks like a caged animal coming out, and he's having a ball of a time on his first appearance at Wembley.
He is. He obviously fancies himself against Gunter on this left-hand side, but no, it's been a superb start. A couple of balls overhit though, maybe not got the pace of the surface quite right yet. I think that's the fourth ball now that's gone out for a goal kick after an overhit pass. Got to make sure they stick to the quality and hit the targets.
Reading like the drifted goal kick out to the flanks, and that one's well taken down by Tyler Blackett, but Blackett's dispossessed by Elias Kachunga, the Huddersfield Town regular season leading scorer. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0 on BBC Radio Leeds inside Wembley, and the ball is knocked back by Reading to their keeper Al Habsi. Williams, with a ginger blonde top, works the ball left to Van den Berg, who skips around Kachunga impressively and into Huddersfield territory. Swift gets onto the pass by strike partner Kernaghan, but in comes Hapeler to dispossess him, and Izzy Brown shimmies away to the right hand side after taking the pass. I thought that had gone out of play, but Reading have recovered it, and now through Ilori and Williams they play it into the centre circle. Williams turns away from Aaron Moy. Moy holds his defensive midfield position. Williams lays it off to Van den Berg again, and here's George Evans, who played in the Manchester City academy setup with the Huddersfield Town skipper Tommy Smith himself. Evans finds Van den Berg, who switches to this near side, the Reading right. Gunter's in position to head back to Ilori, and Ilori finds Williams. Inventive. chunky, aggressive midfielder, watched by Izzy Brown, who's missed the best chance of the match from inches away from goal. Uncharacteristic miss by him. He seems to have just took his eye off it for a split second. He won't take his eye off Danny Williams now. Forces Williams to make the square pass, and Van den Berg switches back to the same player. Williams now goes right and finds Swift. First time ball from Swift to Evans, and Reading are doing their thing. Short passes, tiring Town out, or trying to. No sign of it yet as Christopher Schindler forces Graban back. Now Swift turns it to Danny Williams. Williams works to the flank and Tyler Blackett. Kachunga's on him. Blackett brings it in field, sees the whites of Aaron Moore's eyes and turns it to Van den Berg again, who points across the field. That's where he wants Liam Moore to play it. But Van den Berg gets it back and chips it towards the box. Kermorgan flicks his header to the near post, but Graban won't get there because Danny Waters smothered it for Town. It's Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. After nearly 15 minutes of the playoff final. Matt Glennon.
Yeah, Reading just became a little bit impatient there and really played into Huddersfield Town's hands by chipping that ball, and that's just food and drink for Heffler and Schindler all day. If they can carry on doing that, then there's not going to be much threat from Reading.
Michael Heffler, confident, carries the ball past Jan Kermorgan, the 35-year-old Frenchman, and then sees it come back past him towards Danny Ward as Town go safety first. Ward skids a pass low to the Town left flank, and Lerver strokes it up towards Rajiv van der Parra, who's being arm wrestled by Ilori. Referee spotted it, thought of playing advantage, but he's given Huddersfield Town the free kick 10 yards inside Reading's half. Yeah,
Van der Parra seems to have the beating of Ilori and Gunter as well. Just needs to make sure he keeps the energy levels high and keeps going at them while he's got them against the ropes.
A wonderful echoing anthem from the Huddersfield Town fans. 0-0 in the playoff final. Chris Lerver floats the free kick across to the right-hand side. It's brought down by skipper Tommy Smith, who rolls it into Kachunga. Lovely touch. He takes it past his man. Evans fouls him with a high left foot, and Town get the free kick 30 yards out. They're not coping well with Messrs Kachunga, Van der Parra and Brown booking for Evans.
Any sort of little movement, Reading can't seem to handle it. A little trick there from Kachunga and a really cynical challenge there, and he's got his yellow card and puts himself under pressure. But a couple little bits of tricks from Van der Parra as well have caused massive problems in the Reading ranks.
Beg your pardon, it was Van den Berg who committed the foul. He goes into the yellow card book. A bit of an occupational hazard for Joey Van den Berg. And Huddersfield Town have another set piece to test the Reading defence with. 0-0 after a very promising opening 17 minutes for Huddersfield Town. They've had chances and missed them. Chris Lerver is poised over the free kick. It's shootable actually, right of centre, left-footed from Town's German. He's gone for goal, far post. It won't reach Heffler. It's fizzed wide for a goal kick.
When you're doing a free kick like that, they always say make sure it's on target, just in case everyone leaves it, ends up in the back of the net. It's just gone a little bit wide there. People need to be making, I think, more aggressive runs for these free kicks, because the quality from Lerver and Moy has been excellent. We're only 17 minutes in, but we've seen 4 or 5 really good quality crosses already.
Both head coaches pointing on the edge of their technical areas.
Daniel, you have to be careful, Reading. With these little niggly fouls all the time, 2-3 of them, you're in the book. One player's already now on a tightrope, and there's a long, long way to go in this game.
Tommy Smith is down on the far side for Huddersfield Town after a challenge with Jan Kermorgan. That's not the last time that'll happen all day. And it's Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0 as he's booking for Kermorgan. Probably for dissent.
Yeah, I think so, because the referee had walked away. I don't understand what his problem is, really. He's obviously caught him late, stamped on him. There's no real need to carry on with the referee.
He's not a bad lad, but it was a very late tackle on Tommy Smith. And Kermorgan has talked his way into the book there. 2 bookings in 19 minutes for Reading. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0. Michael Haefele rolls the free kick short and gets it back on Tommy Smith. It's Kermorgant doing the closing down, and he charges down Haefele's attempted clearance. The ball floats all the way back and across the byline. Neither team suddenly getting their passing rhythm going.
No, and that's overplay, and that's one of the real things I hate sometimes that they can be guilty of. There's no need to go there. You either go back to the goalkeeper, get the ball forward. If Reading are marked up well and doing their job, sometimes I'm afraid you are just going to have to go a little bit longer.
Naki Wells in space in the centre circle, lovely balance and skill to find Tommy Smith. Now he races down the right, takes the return ball, his cross is deflected and put over the bar by Ilori. It's come away to the near side. In fact, I think it's gone for a throw-in. I beg your pardon, I misread the flight of the ball. It's come away to the near side. A Town throw-in, but the way they released Wells and the way he got away from his markers in the channel is promising.
Very promising. Reading really against the ropes, but as we say, one of these have got to hit the back of the net, because Reading will get there. They'll get their spell soon, and Town need to make sure they're ready.
0-0 in the Championship playoff final. Huddersfield Town throw backwards and pass all the way back to the keeper via Chris Schindler to Danny Ward, who's gone for the pink number today, all dark pink. I think there's a better technical.
We go future. We have a fuchsia, didn't we?
Fuchsia.
That's that, yes.
Thank
Lovely.
Jan Kermorgant thinks of rushing towards Danny Ward, but Ward releases it early. It's sent away by Ilori and back into Huddersfield Town territory. Christopher Schindler in the bright fluoro hoops with black shorts and socks. Side puts it to Ward away to our right. Huddersfield Town will be attacking the western end of the stadium in the second half.
See, that's good from Danny Ward there. They're coming and asking for the ball, but they can't have it there. There's not enough space and there's nowhere for them to go. All they're going to do is roll it back to Danny Ward, who'll then be under pressure, whereas now he's got a free strike of the ball where he can pick a player.
And still Ward's on the ball. Now he releases it after a good few seconds in possession on the edge of his penalty area. Reading headed out of play, but it's actually flicked off Huddersfield Town, and a miscontrol off Michael Haefele's chest. Kermorgant switches right suddenly for Reading, and here's Gunter. Great tackle, Chris Lerber, who committed and stretched with perfect timing, but got a knock on the thigh for his troubles. Rajiv van der Parra meanwhile brings the ball away, and Izzy Brown turns it into centre field. Aaron Moy finds Kachunga, and Town are throwing numbers forward. Kachunga spots Tommy Smith's run, but lays it off to Aaron Moy, and Town are camped inside Reading's half again.
Someone needs to come back here, because the Reading play is not offside, because Lerber's on the floor. Well done, Haefele.
The ball's put out of play voluntarily. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0, and there's concern about Chris Lerber's thigh. Catherine is much nearer to it than we are.
Yeah, it doesn't look too clever, that. He's not really moving a great deal. He's clutching the back of his hamstring and getting some attention now from the Huddersfield Town physio. Prior to that, we saw some action for the bench for the first time. Casey Palmer, Tarek Holmes-Dennis and Colin Kwana out doing some preliminary warm-ups, although it is very warm down here pitch side. Overall, you have to say David Wagner looking much the happier of the two coaches. They spent much of this time so far, feet planted firmly apart, arms folded, lots of applause, lots of chat with Rajiv van der Parra. They had been getting quite a lot of joy prior to this break in play at the moment. Lots of instructions from van der Parra, because it had been working well down this left-hand side, so a particular concern that Lerber, who's been feeding van der Parra, is now down and getting some treatment.
He's actually getting ice on his bottom cheek, as we say. You could tell he's gone through his knee there.
And now the tribute from the Wembley crowd on both sides to the victims of the awful terror attacks in Manchester. We stand together, plastered around the digital screens inside Wembley Stadium. Huddersfield Town fans sharing the moment with Reading fans in a gesture that football can be proud of. And Chris Lerber is back on his feet for Huddersfield Town. And in a gesture between the two opposing fullbacks that matches the moment, Chris Gunter comes sportingly across and checks the welfare of Chris Lerber It was a fair challenge with Löwe committed, and Gunter says, sorry mate, we're back underway, and it's Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0 at Wembley.
Yeah, it was a good interception by Löwe, moved his feet really well. There's no rail really for the Reading player to go, apart from through Löwe. But he'll give it a rub, he'll be fine. The adrenaline will be pumping that much through his body anyway. He won't feel it till tomorrow morning.
Danny Ward drifts the clearance to the right. Kachunga beats Blackett in the air. Brown works it forward quickly to Wells. Kachunga wants it on the right flank. He'll get it, but the pass has been overhit. Kachunga goes and fetches it near the corner flag. Supply Smith, early cross, headed away by Ilori, but only as far as Jonathan Hogg of Huddersfield Town. And Moy switches play. He knows that Löwe's overlapping. Löwe crosses early and low. Ilori's blocked, puts it out for another corner to Huddersfield Town at Wembley. And this is how much Town fans want it.
Another great piece of play. Spending a lot of time in that Reading final third. So one of these crosses have got to count soon. Looks like Löwe's back anyway, so he's getting forward as usual.
After the injury, Chris Löwe's back on his feet, and he'll take the corner from the left-hand side. An out-swinging left footer. It's headed away by Kermorgan. The striker back defending as he often does. Still Huddersfield Town in possession until the tackle by a Reading player to dispossess Aaron Moy. Moy tosses the ball to skipper Tommy Smith. There's a cohesion and a unity on the field amongst these Huddersfield Town players. It's what's happening when they've not got the ball at their feet sometimes that gives you so much hope. Well, it's physically they are ready, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they've obviously realised that today that's it. There's no point leaving anything back in the change room, not giving it your all until you can't run anymore, because today is the day and it's the biggest game of most of these players' lives.
The winner goes to join Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City and United in the Premier League.
And to come back here and play again.
170 million quid minimum guarantee prize money, and if you stay up after your first year in the Premier League it becomes 290 million. But somehow today's emotion and support from the Town fans tells you it's not about the money at all.
No.
As Town win the ball back off Reading after an inconsequential passage of play from the Royals in blue and white hoops from Berkshire. From the para for Huddersfield Town, chests it, nods it, then it's taken off him by Ilori, who's had a good opening 25 minutes for Reading. Haefele, the big Bavarian, finds Tommy Smith in space. It's the movement off the ball by Smith that alerts Haefele to the passing opportunity, but then it comes loose from Town further upfield as Reading number up, and Vandenberg can play it back to Al-Habsi away to our left-hand side. Al-Habsi in a turquoise number, and he drives it straight this time towards Kermorgan, who's beaten in the air by Schindler. Jonathan Hogg pokes the ball out of play when he had it under control. I beg your pardon, Van der Parra saved the day for Town. And Town are doing everything to keep possession, even when they haven't got a right to own the ball.
Yeah, like you say, keeping possession, the chances will come, and Reading will get more and more frustrated. Plus as well, them legs will start to feel a bit more heavy when you don't have the ball for a large portion of time.
The ref says Izzy Brown has pushed over Danny Williams. The linesman more to the point, and it's a Reading free kick just inside their own half on the left flank. Overcast conditions, I think mercifully here at Wembley, because Wembley in searing heat is a place that doesn't take any prisoners. Humid, wonderful atmosphere inside the stadium, and Huddersfield Town are winning it hands down in terms of noise volume created by Dare, 39,000 odd at the western end of the stadium. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. The teams finished in 3rd and 5th in the final championship table. Swift, not much influence on the game so far. Another feather in Town's cap, but it's a good ball from him to find Ilori. Ilori loose with his ball to Graben, and Town have got players in the right places. Wells now finds Moy. Moy lost that, but he won it back through sheer strength and stubbornness. Wells is tackled by a combination of Evans and Williams, and then there's a late tackle on Reading. They'll get the free kick. They're not going to do any favours for themselves by remonstrating with the ref that Town should have a yellow card delivered to them.
If you're listening to us around the world, get in contact, tweet at WYS Daily or text 81333, start your message with WYS. Sarah says, kids are asleep in the car, the Disney songs are off, so you know it's serious, and BBC Radio Leeds is on with West Yorkshire Sport Daily's excellent commentary. And hi to Fraser and Ilkley. Football is my least favourite sport, however this is Yorkshire that's playing, and I'm with Town all the way to the Premier League.
Jonathan Hogg booked for Huddersfield Town, but Reading have absolutely butchered their possession, because Van den Berg's pass towards a nervous-looking Tyler Blackett, for me, was misplaced, and Blackett froze in the moment. It's a Huddersfield Town throw-in, taken by a Tommy Smith, showing all the opposite characteristics. He's full of gusto and pride in his captaincy, and he says, give me the ball, and Town work it into Reading territory, albeit into no man's land, because Reading have picked it up. And now Gunter and Ilori, a young Portuguese international who was born, in fact, not very far from here in Hampstead, but he moved to Portugal when he was a youngster. Liam Moore on the ball now. He helped Leicester City into the Premier League a couple of years ago, and Van den Berg rolls it forward for Smith. Swift is tackled by Moy, and Huddersfield Town had the ball again thanks to the defensive industry. Kachunga, confident in his back heel, finds Aaron Moy, who gets it back from Naki Wells, and Town have got numbers on the left hand side on halfway. Hogg finds Löwe, and Löwe powers into the space in front of him, looks up for his options. There's a wall of blue and white hooped shirts from Reading players in front, but he finds Van der Parra jinking, dancing. His cross is in the middle of the Town targets Kachunga and Wells, and it's cleared by Van den Berg. But Town have it again through Kachunga. Smith. Hogg helps them out, and Town have got to come backwards in possession because Reading are pressing themselves. It's a good performance by both teams in midfield, you've got to say. 30 minutes gone. No score in the playoff final. That'll take the winner into the Premier League. Lovely skill by Naki Wells. He's got options right and left. He dribbles round Williams, finds Izzy Brown, who might have been in the way of that pass intended for Tommy Smith, but Brown's inventive. Wells takes and turns and surely was fouled, but the referee says play on, and Reading bring it away. Kermorgan nods it backwards to Graban in space. Graban waits and links with Chris Gunter. Graban wearing 50. Came to Reading from Bournemouth. And now Van den Berg switches all the way to the left flank, and Tyler Blackett. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Van den Berg increasingly a go-to man for Reading now. He holds it and carries it into Town territory. Graban runs in a circle, lays it off to Danny Williams, and then Gunter sends it backwards to Ilori on the halfway line. Huddersfield Town sit back for the moment and hold their positions. Invite Reading to come to them. Swift doesn't fancy dribbling round Jonathan Hogg and switches back into the centre circle and Liam Moore. Here's Ilori being waved frantically by the Reading technical bench. Graban knocks it back to Gunter. I'll tell you something, if one of these passes goes loose, Town are away. They're just gently moving forward. Van der Parra and Wells and Brown, but they've left Swift all alone. Swift plays it forward to Kermorgan, but Haefele mops up on the edge of his penalty area, belts it away disdainfully and says come on, come again. Town are ready.
So he belts out, but also brings his defence out with him. They only move 2 or 3 yards, which is a big 2 or 3 yards, because it allows everyone to get forward then. They're just trying to make Reading rush it again. They want Reading just to try and chip the ball up to the front players, so Haefele and Schindler can win the headers again. Well, this is Reading just having their little piece of action now.
Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Evans, Swift, And Vandenberg closed down by Kachunga right on the halfway line. Vandenberg needed to make that pass crisp, but he did so to Liam Moore. And Vandenberg carries it over the halfway line to a backdrop of echoing Huddersfield Town song. Moy has fouled Kermagant though, and Reading get a free kick 35 yards out, smack in the middle of Huddersfield Town song.
Yeah, I'd say just around shooting range, maybe. Looking more like the put across in the box, but some lads out there have got to be careful. They say Hogg got a booking that he didn't need to get involved with. He's run 40 yards to come and make a foul because he felt his teammate had been aggrieved. We're not seeing him really do that this season. He's been really controlled in his aggression, but he's let himself down there. And Moy now, a couple of fouls, he's going to be careful. He could be on a yellow soon as well.
John Swift, a Chelsea product, who's troubled Huddersfield Town over the past few years in both the Reading and Brentford shirt. With 33 minutes gone of the playoff final at Wembley, Swift has been given the job of taking a free kick a good 30 yards out, but Town have built a two-man wall to block it. Swift fancies this, but Danny Ward has got a lot of time to take it. Swift shoots wastefully wide, and Town's fans jump to their feet and celebrate the miss. It's Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Catherine Hanna is pitch side for us.
Yeah, I've just seen Andy Hughes, assistant head coach, go sprinting down the tunnel. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Jaap Stam very, very animated in his technical area, bellowing instructions at his players. David Wagner much calmer at the moment, although both Wagner and Christoph Bühler, his assistant, and Andy Hughes have had words with the referee over some of these challenges that they feel are maybe going, or the referee being overly harsh, particularly the Hogg booking they were not happy with at all, and definitely having words with the fourth official pitch side.
Naki Wells jumps well in front of Liam Moore to get on the end of Danny Ward's straight clearance. The ball rebounds, unluckily for Wells, in Reading's favour. And now they enter Huddersfield Town territory. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. We're inside the last 10 minutes of normal first half time. Gripping. And Vandenberg fancies a shot. It's another haymaker from Reading, which Danny Ward looks at and laughs at. It's a goal kick to Town.
Yeah, that's good defending because they've made him shoot from 30 yards on the angle, so Danny Ward will be more than happy. Tommy Smith, on the other hand, is not happy at all. I don't think he wants the back two to push out even further. I think they just think that they're dropping off a little bit too much and giving Reading chances. But going back to the Hogg incident, it was a booking because he's ran 20-30 yards to get involved when he didn't need to. It's more, I'd say, for the intent as well as the challenge.
Vandenberg now misjudges the flight of a very long goal kick by Danny Ward, and Elias Kachunga's in behind to collect the bouncing ball. He finds Izzy Brown with a neat turn. Brown 25 yards out, rolls it. Wells has been fouled. Referee plays advantage and Brown shoots. It's deflected away for a corner, which Town will take with both hands. Better.
Yeah, I think Wells is unhappy. There's 2 or 3 challenges on him now, and he's not been given anything. I think he's having a little word with the referee, just saying, any chance.
After a quiet period in the final third, Huddersfield Town have a corner with half-time approaching in the playoff final. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Aaron Moy looks up, swings the ball high. Haefel are lucky to connect with it, but nobody does. It's drifted away for a goal kick.
You know, the actual setup there of that corner, I'm not sure anyone knew what they were doing because Moyes put the ball into an area. There's only Heffler anywhere near it. Kachunga stayed out, Brown stayed out, Van der Parra stayed out as well of the box. There's not enough people in there, I don't think, to cause any trouble for Reading.
Ali Al-Habsi looks as if he's trying to play for extra time already. He's taking a tremendous amount of time about this goal kick, but he's got character, and he showed it in Reading's second leg performance against Fulham. A real warning to how well structured they are at the back. And Al-Habsi drives it now into Huddersfield territory. Moy heads it upwards, but Reading recollect, and the blue and white hoops of the team from Berkshire come forward. The clearance Headed back into Town territory by Danny Williams. Now Lewis Grabban finds Williams again, and he squares it for George Evans, a lanky Mancunian. Sees Izzy Brown come towards him and turns the ball back for Liam Moore. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Only 2 years since Reading came here for an FA Cup semi-final, which they lost against Arsenal. The goal scorer that day, McCleary, is on the bench for Reading today. Evans just inside his own half. Pings a straight ball forward, ambitious. Grabban chests it, but it sits up for Jonathan Hogg to collect. And Hogg's pulled down by Grabban. The referee's got that one right. Free kick Huddersfield Town on the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, they need to keep all that possession now. Reading are just starting to get a little bit, but again, a decent little bit of movement from Huddersfield, and Reading are fouling. They're going to be careful. They're going to be even more Reading players on yellow cards soon if they carry on with this persistent fouling.
Since I was young, belts out around Wembley for the 49th match this season. Deafening noise from the Huddersfield Town fans. Half-time approaching, 6 minutes left of normal time as Town number up and make the tackles on the far side. Town trying to do it clean, and Blackett will take the throw-in off Aaron Moy's challenge. He thinks it might have come back off a Reading player, but he's going to get no change from the officials. And Blackett gets his feet tangled. His pass is short for Swift, and Hogg and Brown between them look as though they've nicked it off Reading for a sec, but Reading recollect impressively. George Evans switches right, and here's Chris Gunter. Closed down by Rajiv Van Mapara, who shadows him, keeps him at bay, and forces Reading to knock it square. Williams, a couple of yards inside Huddersfield territory, rolls it, and now a clever back heel pass by Jan Kernaghan links with Lewis Grabban. Grabban runs down the channel to take it off Ilori, but it's wonderful work by Christopher Schindler of Huddersfield Town. More sumo wrestling than association football, but it was effective. Fighting to get near the football, and now Wells of Huddersfield Town brings it away. Naki Wells switches right, allowing Tommy Smith to power onto it. Smith drew Blackett, but placed the pass too long for Elias Kachunga to work with, and the ball's going to trickle over the byline for a Reading goal kick. 0-0.
So a couple of instances there where Hogg's pulled out because he's got that yellow card. He's got to be very careful what he does now. There's a couple of times I think it would have been, if he wouldn't have been booked already, it'd have gone through there because there were 50-50s.
If you notice them on the big screens, they've shown the pulse of the playoffs, and they've put heart monitors on 2 fans from each side. The Town heartbeats are 141 and 113. The Reading ones, which shows they're not making much noise or action, 105 and 77. The calmest guy in the world, or he's dead.
That's one better check.
But it shows, isn't it, how the Town fans are making all the effort and all the noise and are really getting up for it.
Lovely screenshot on the big one across the stadium of Dean Hoyle, the Huddersfield Town owner and chairman, who sees his own image and points and nudges Chief Executive Julian Winter and says, look at them 2 good looking fellas on that screen there.
It wasn't me and you, Oggy, was it? I didn't see that come on.
We wouldn't have got that kind of reaction, my friend. Reading meanwhile have worked themselves an attacking throw-in. Level with the right edge of the Huddersfield Town penalty area, and Town have got to defend efficiently. The final 4 minutes of first half time. Gunter holds the throw. Smith. Swift takes the throw and turns. Right edge of the penalty area. He turns away from the Huddersfield Town defenders. Swift turns back round the outside, stumbles. No challenge from Hogg, so it can't be a free kick. Rajiv Van Mapara helps Jonathan Hogg out, and now Van Mapara's on the charge. A lovely swivel of the hips to take him past Ilori, and then he's felled, surely, by the Reading player. The referee trying to play advantage. Right to do so. Referee Swarbrick. It's a free kick to Huddersfield Town, and Rajiv Van Mapara's having the game of his life in a Huddersfield Town shirt.
Yeah, he's doing well. Showed good pace and energy there. Yapstam's just hung to get up, which I would do as well if Sam told me to get up. But no, he's using his fitness well. I think, yeah.
Town in motion across the field down the right-hand side. It's Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. BBC Radio Leeds live inside Wembley, where it's absolutely pulsing amongst the Huddersfield Town fans, who can't wait already, no doubt, to see their team come towards them in the biggest stadium of all. Danny Ward's got it now, with his back to the Town support, and he'll take his time and flip it left, but it's too close to Reading as it comes down near Gunter. Gunter side puts it in towards Graben, but Christopher Schindler bites in the tackle and says, "You won't get through."
Yeah, just so patient, just waits for his chance, makes a superb challenge as always, just getting through his game like he always does, no fuss. Excellent.
Reading take the throw in backwards, tellingly. Huddersfield Town invite them on. Now Vandenberg's got a bit too much space. He rolls it left towards Blackett, and Blackett playing down the Reading left thinks about a dribble past Kachunga, but Town shut the space down. Tommy Smith, Michael Hapeler, Jonathan Hogg on the right edge of the penalty area, and now Tommy Smith's already applauding as the misplaced pass from Reading rolls past him and over the byline for a goal kick. Wonderful defensive structure from head coach David Wagner's side.
That's what happens if you hold a good line, you're organised, you talk, which they are doing to each other. You can allow that ball just to go out of play and nullify all kinds of threats when it's coming forward.
Stand up if you love the Town. Wherever you're listening to us on BBC Radio Leeds across the world, tell us where you are as well as who you are, as we try and roar Huddersfield Town into the Premier League here on BBC Radio Leeds, via the official Huddersfield Town website, of course, on Town Player, at WYS Daily on Twitter. Text us to 81333 and make sure you put the letters WYS at the beginning of those text messages as we applaud Michael Hapeler's latest defensive header. There's a free kick for Reading on halfway though, after a tangle between Wells and Williams. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0, as we go into 2 minutes of first half injury time. Here's Catherine, pitch side.
Yeah, 2 minutes, as you say, Oggy. Everybody looking calm and collected so far. Just see it through to half-time, take it in at 0-0. But I imagine David Wagner will be very, very happy with what he's seen from his Town players so far. And you rightly say, it's the Town fans making all the noise here.
Christopher Schindler yet again blocks Kermorgan's path, and Rajiv van der Para fancies a run with inches to spare. Has he pushed it over the line? Referee says play on. Van der Para gets in behind, into the box. Now the cross, too high for Wells, too long for Kachunga. And the final ball was lacking. It's a Reading throw-in on the far side.
I'm afraid that's going back to what's wrong there with Van der Para. He's done so well, great piece of skill, drives himself into the box. You've got to make a decision. Are you going to drive in there and shoot, try and take someone on? If you're going to cross it, you've got to have a little look up. Or you drive the ball across the floor so there's a chance that someone's coming in. Don't just put it over the top there and just absolutely kill the attack.
There's time yet for more, maybe even before half-time here at Wembley, as Izzy Brown flicks a header infield, trying to connect with Aaron Moy. Great defensive work by Danny Williams. The German with the blonde top works it now across halfway, but Van der Para comes back and slide tackles the Welsh international Chris Gunter to delirious applause from the Huddersfield Town fans, who clearly will give Van der Para many more chances yet.
They will, because he entertains them. You know what I mean? We're ultra picky because we expect more when he gets into those areas, but he does your back heels, does your Cruyff turns, he drives past people and he excites the crowd. But from a footballing aspect, he's got to do more.
Vandenberg's clipped to the edge of the box. Kermorgan, a nightmare for Town's defenders. His cross is chested out for a corner by Michael Hapeler on the edge of his 6-yard box. And Kermorgan's languid movement, often clumsy looking, is so effective for Reading. The final seconds of the first half at Wembley. Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. We already lick our lips in eager anticipation of the second half, but Town have got some defending to do before half-time yet. Reading's corner to be delivered by John Smith. Swift's corner from the left-hand side, headed away by Hogg. And that's the final act of a first half that defensively Huddersfield Town can be very, very proud of. And at the front end, chances have come and haven't quite been taken. Early on, Hayfellow's header just wide, and Izzy Brown really should have scored. But what a promising first half performance.
Clarion, that's impressive. So arms folded, he looks focused, he looks determined, and hopefully he's delivered the team talk of a lifetime that'll spur his team on to playoff final victory. BBC Radio Leeds, DAB Digital Radio, 92.4 FM and Freeview TV channel 719 with Matt Glennon and Paul Ogden for the biggest 45 minutes in Town's history.
Huddersfield Town playing towards their own supporters at Wembley for the second half. Izzy Brown runs to make the first penetrative ball and keeps it near the corner flag, takes on the defensive midfielder Evans and lays it off constructively for Aaron Moy. No changes by either head coach at the break. Tommy Smith joins the attack, brings it in field. Hogg spots Chris Lerber, the German left back. He'll have a dig 30 yards out, straight at Al Habsi. It stays. Huddersfield Town nil, Reading nil.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a try from over there because the ball dips, it moves, it might come off thingy, but also gives everyone a little bit of a lift as well. Shot on target after a minute, gets the crowd going and his teammates.
Lots of supporters on both sides of the stadium rushing back to the seats from the long half-time refreshment queues here at Wembley. 0-0. Reading in blue and white hoops, blue shorts, blue and white hoop socks. It's Huddersfield Town who've had to change to their fluoro and black hoop shirt, black shorts, black socks. But Town's promise is as bright as that away strip. Izzy Brown, usually so confident and inventive, missed the best chance of the match. His body language suggests that he's not going to be too affected by it. And now he chases down Van den Berg. And Reading's Dutchman in defence turns it back in field to Liam Moore. Reading work it with Chris passing down the right-hand side. Chris Gunter twists it back in field to Ilori. And now Danny Williams is rushed towards by Jonathan Hogg of Huddersfield Town. Reading work it into space. Evans touches it on. Here's Swift who shoots and Ward parries. It'll come back out and Reading play it short. Swift crosses. Town backpedaling for a second, but Hayfellow's strokes it clear and Reading pick it up again. A rare moment of promise from Reading.
Yeah, it's a comfortable save, Danny Ward. A good save. Parry it into a decent area as well. And Heffler was there to clear up the pieces after the cross.
Swift tries to play one inside Tommy Smith, the Huddersfield Town right back, to find Blackett, but Town number up and mark their zones. Smith half volleys a clearance. Naki Wells will chase it. He's up against Liam Moore, who slices his attempted square clearance, and Naki Wells will keep it in play. Wells all alone, he's still found Brown in the Wembley penalty area. Brown takes on the defenders, pushes his way past Van den Berg. He's kept it in. Brown supplies, but it's cut out. It'll fall to Wells. A second tackle by Van den Berg blocks Huddersfield Town's path, and that is Izzy Brown at his best.
Yeah, he had no right to keep that ball in play. He's used the outside of his left foot. Unbelievably got his body in a position to keep it in. Bad touch from Naki Wells when he's a nice touch and get a strike on goal there. Really, really good play.
Rajiv van der Para across the far side of the park as we look at it. Tries too much initially, but still wins a throw-in against Ilori, who played in La Liga before arriving at Reading. Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. Two multinational teams against each other. And Danny Williams goes into a challenge with Hogg. Huddersfield Town incensed by Williams' late challenge. Williams says, "I'm just doing my job, referee," and apologises to an opponent of similar combative nature, Hogg himself.
Yeah, I think Danny Williams has got one more challenge in him. Then he'll find himself in the book as well. Be careful a minute. He started this half, Reading, I think 50-50, but Town seems to be dropping quite deep. Heffel is an edge 18-yard box when the ball's 10 yards in the Reading half. We need to make sure that he keep that really good communication from the first half and take it into the second half.
Williams apologises to Jonathan Hogg, and we're back underway. Huddersfield Town in possession. 0-0 in the Championship playoff final. Lovely crisp pass down the right by Tommy Smith. Kachunga's got the better of Vandenberg, but he can't find a return ball for Tommy Smith, who otherwise would have been in the clear. Reading on the back foot, stab it out of play. It's a Huddersfield Town throw.
They've done all the hard work there, Kachunga. It was an easy little tap to Tommy Smith.
Still tremendous potential in this Huddersfield Town performance. The winner joins the Premier League. Williams stumbles. That's because Wells has fouled him, says referee Swarbrick.
The linesman didn't. The linesman's 2 yards away. He didn't say anything. Sorry, assistant referee.
George Evans sends it long and wayward for Reading. Out of play it goes. Huddersfield Town ball. And Reading's options have been limited by Huddersfield Town's structure today.
Yeah, and movement and willingness to close down and the energy levels that they've shown as well today.
Tommy Smith has the ball in his hands. He flips the throw in down the right hand side. It's headed out of play by Blackett. And Smith takes it quickly this time. A short whip for Izzy Brown. Though marked, Aaron Moyes still manages to take the pass, and a couple of pinball ricochets take it away from him after a tackle. Reading back in possession with Ilori. He rolls it over the halfway line. It comes back. And then Moore and Van der Berg on the left-hand side exchange passes. Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. Reading with the leakiest defence in the top six. 64 goals conceded in the regular season. Huddersfield Town with the weakest attack in the top six. Free kick against Swift for a foul on Rajiv Amnapara. It's got scrappy, even more combative, but I don't think Town will necessarily suffer from that.
I think it's tough though when someone like Rajiv Amnapara's running at you and he chucks a little dummy in there and a little flick. He just draws those sort of challenges. A little Cruyff turn, you've just got no chance. As a player, you think you've got him, then he's gone and you've brought him down and you're in the book.
He certainly hasn't patented the Cruyff turn. Town take the free kick long meanwhile. Al-Habsi collects with Izzy Brown on the charge. It was just too long. But Rajiv Amnapara came up with a Cruyff turn then when he wasn't, strictly speaking, in possession of the ball. Fantastic.
No. But that's what he can do.
Al-Habsi bowls the ball out. Danny Williams takes it. Like David Wagner, the Huddersfield Town head coach, Williams with dual ancestry, German-American. He works it right, and here's Ilori. And Grabber on halfway with space to turn in front of Izzy Brown. He chops the pass back to Ilori, and Town sit back and hold their positions and wait for Reading to try and come up with something. Vandenberg chips the ball, floating it to the edge of the box. Kermorgant nods it back to Swift. Swift waits and then chips it right. Here's Gunter on the charge. Gunter crosses off the backside of Chris Lerber. And for once, the Reading fans make some noise as their team win a corner. 0-0 at Wembley after 53 minutes of the Championship playoff final.
Yeah, it's nice for the Reading fans to join the party. They've arrived at last. But now that the team are actually giving them a little bit more to cheer about, Town need to make sure they're well organised now.
Some noise from the Reading fans, more genteel perhaps than Huddersfield Town's own anthems, and raucous applause. Reading's corner from their right, a left-footed floater, edge of the box. Kermorgant tries a hook volley, it's over the top. Town marked him and watched him and defended it well. Goal kick.
Yeah, Schindler's made sure he stayed with him, not give him an easy challenge. That's what you have to do when you're given that task of marking a certain play. You've got to make sure you stay with it, because Kermorgant's actually pulled off right to the edge of the 18-yard box. Schindler's not stayed where he was, he stayed with his man and done his job.
Danny Ward drives the ball straight to the centre circle. Naki Wells comes in late and takes the pass in the face, still manages to control it, and then overhits a cross-field diagonal for Rajiv Vannapara. It's gone out of play for a Reading throw-in in their right back position. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0, and pitch side at Wembley is Catherine Hanna.
Yep, Dr. John Iger here with the substitutes, just having a quiet word. No Huddersfield Town players out warming up at the moment. A couple of the Reading players, so I don't know whether a substitute is imminent for them, but David Wagner seems very happy to let the Town squad be as it is. And right on cue, Casey Palmer and Colin Kwana go for a runabout and get a bit warmed up. So 55 minutes gone. Will either of them be making an appearance anytime soon?
Maybe they're doing it on your instruction, Captain. Keep your messages coming wherever you're listening to us on BBC Radio Leeds FM and digital, and on Freeview Channel 719. Christoph Bühler, the assistant head coach, celebrates as if Town had scored. It's for some defensive pressing that forced a crossfield error from Reading. That's how Town do. You've got to get it right when you haven't got the ball, as well as in front of goal. 0-0.
Yeah, because it takes a really special kind of player to be able to get away from Huddersfield Town when they're pressing like they are in 2s and 3s. There's just nowhere to go. And Bühler's right, they're stopping them playing, and that ultimately stops them scoring.
Town muscle up against Graben in the right back position. Hogg, Smith, Hayfel are monitoring that part of the field, and Town get a throw-in off the ex-Bournemouth player. Tommy Smith, the Huddersfield Town captain, lofts it high, but not beyond Blackett's jump, and Reading send it back into Town's half. Graben races in behind Hayfel and flips the ball across the face of goal, powerless. It's a goal kick. Hayfel worried for a split second, but he recovered, shoulder to shoulder with Graben, and it's a goal kick to Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, Danny Ward half decided to come there. It wasn't really his ball, he was never going to get there. Hayfel has done well to use his body strength to put him off a little bit, but that was quite a worrying moment for a second, because he was stranded and he could have just flipped it over Danny Ward's head then.
Chris Lerver knocks the ball long into Reading's half. Naki Wells puts pressure on Liam Moore. Out of play it goes for a throw into Huddersfield Town. Left flank. Chris Lerver enters Reading territory, takes the ball. Naki Wells surely fouled. Ref says it's gone the other way.
It's a foul throw. I thought it was. It looked awful.
Yeah.
You don't see many of them.
Lerver, an unusual culprit for a foul throw, is usually so perfect. And Reading get possession back. Ilori switches to Liam Moore. Vandenberg rolls the pass side-footed for George Evans. And Reading are happy to wait for their moment to open Huddersfield Town up if they can. More deafening noise from the Huddersfield Town fans. Though Reading are in possession with Graben, twisting, turning, can't get away from the magnificent Christopher Schindler of Huddersfield Town. But Aaron Moy has it taken off him by the same Reading player. And the Royals from Berkshire are not done yet. They've had a decent opening to the second half. And now Graben drifts to connect with Williams' pass. Strong work in defence by Donan Hogg. And now Williams side puts it for Swift. Evans joins the attack left-footed. A Man City product works it left to a Man United product in a Reading shirt, Blackett. Blackett is shouldered off it by Kachunga. The ball's come loose. Referee's not sure. He looks at the linesman and says, what shall I give? I think that could be a free kick, or is it a throw-in at least? To Reading.
It's more like he looked at Jaap Stanu when his hands up in the air. He's gone with the Reading manager. He wasn't given anything there. The referee looks all confused. I don't know if the fourth official or the assistant linesman said something.
I think it is a free kick.
Yeah. Referee needs to get a grip of himself now and not lose control of this game, because in a decision like that, players feed on the referee doing things.
Some very unconvincing refereeing by Swarbrick for once on a day of full combat between Huddersfield Town and Reading. Reading have the free kick wide on their left-hand side, and we're approaching the hour mark at Wembley. Still no goals. Swift with Reading's free kick. High, lofted far post. Good punch, Danny Ward at Huddersfield Town. It's straight to Gunter, who controls it and then chips it into the box. Town have got a mark up. Kermagant miscues his overhead kick, and Huddersfield Town clear. Brown is in there, so is Wells. It'll fall to Rajiv van der Parra. He passes to the mark to Izzy Brown, but magnificent balance by the young man on loan from Chelsea, and he works it right. Here's Elias Kachunga. Kachunga can't get going. Did Blackett touch that last? We're screaming for a corner. We're screaming for a corner. The referee says goal kick.
Yeah, the crowd aren't happy with that. It just looks like Kachunga did maybe just flick it off the Reading player.
Some of your messages coming in. Andrew P, who's in the stands watching, says, come on Town, we can do that. Take us back to the glory years of the 1920s. Fraser and Ilkley says, come on Town, do this for Yorkshire. And one with no name on says, I wish I was with Margaret, Kath and Alistair at Wembley. I'm listening on the radio. Huddersfield, Huddersfield, come on Huddersfield. Tweet us at WYS Daily or text 81333. Start your message with the letters WYS.
Blackett with a poor header, and the booked Elias Kachunga still goes for the challenges. Town suddenly on the front foot after an hour at Wembley. Rajiv van der Parra has a tilt down the left wing. He pushes it past the last defender. His cross has come off the retreating Gunter. Corner Huddersfield Town, whose fans are raucous already. Could this be Town's chance?
Yeah, they need to take with these as well. Kachunga's stupid booking. It's only a decision over a corner. You've got to control yourself. He's on a knife edge now as well to the end of the game.
Deafening Huddersfield Town noise as Aaron Moy sets up the corner at the west end of Wembley. It's a short one to Van der Parra, who gives it back to Town's Aussie. Moy crosses. It comes off Evans. Hogg in the box. Schindler. Hapeler. Off a defender. Reading can't clear it. And suddenly they hack it away. Off Kermagant, the striker. Effective at both ends of the field. But Reading were panicking then for a second. It's a Town throw.
Yeah, they were. But Town did well there. They kept the ball alive. Heffler didn't foul, no one did anything stupid. Hogg, they just kept that ball in the box. That's what they need to do. Vandenberg,
power, but with some poise to hold off Moy and Smith. He works it back to Blackett, who clears it to the far end of the field. Pressure on Chris Lurber of Huddersfield Town from Reading's right-hand side, and Gunter has put it out of play for a throw-in. Still 28 delicious minutes of normal time left. It's gripping stuff, and it tends to be at 0-0 when there's a place in the Premier League at stake. Huddersfield Town still playing their slick passes. Smith knocks it over the top. Izzy Brown having a wonderful second half. Finds Kachunga. Kachunga into the box. Smith shot over the bar. And Kachunga was caught accidentally, I think, from Vandenberg's challenge. It's a goal kick to Reading.
Yeah, just a little bit afterwards. It was a good play from Kachunga. You can't really blame the Reading play there. That was a tough pass from Tommy Smith. A high volley with his weaker foot. Maybe should have just recycled the ball for someone else to have a chance. But we have seen him score winning goals before, so why not?
The first substitution of the contest. Jordan Obita, who was injured for the second leg of the semi-final for Reading against Fulham. He's going to come on. for the left-sided defender Joey van den Berg, and Abita can attack as well as defend. This is a test for Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long until we see a change as well. Huddersfield Town, you know what I mean, they need to start creating a little bit more, finish these chances. Maybe it's time for the playoff hero Kwana to come towards the pitch now.
Any sign of a sub, Catherine, pitch side?
Yeah, and I've just seen David Wagner signal to Christoph Bühler, who has given a thumbs up to somebody. Nick Colgan just busy talking to Colin Kwana right now. Just with regard to that challenge on Hayfler, David Wagner absolutely apoplectic that nothing was given for that. And Kwana has just taken his shirt off. I think he's coming on soon.
There are some ladies around us who are quite happy for him to leave his shirt off in the humid Wembley temperatures. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0 in the 2017 Championship playoff final. The winner goes to the Premier League. Danny Ward rushes out of his 6-yard box to drive a pass back downfield. Blackett meets it for Reading. Michael Hayfler intentionally cushions his header square. He tested Tommy Smith, but Smith used the space to power it forward, and now Reading have got a clear. But in come the tackles from Town. Kachunga forces an error from Blackett. Kachunga turns round to the Town fans. He wants more. He wants more noise. And here it comes.
Well, you can feel Reading are against the ropes, and this is where they've got to make sure they drive this advantage home now. And Kachunga can feel it as well. He's obviously pumped up for this game.
If ever a player epitomised the modern-day Huddersfield Town spirit, it's Ilias Kachunga. Naki Wells pushes the ball through the legs of a Reading player. Asks for a free kick, which he's not going to get. And Jordan Obita, the fresh sub, says get up.
Yeah, the referee's not really fallen for that kind of thing this afternoon. He's gone down way too easy 2 or 3 times now.
Here comes Huddersfield Town's first substitution of the playoff final. Catherine.
Yeah, and it's Ilias Kachunga who's going to be coming off to be replaced by Colin Kwana. He's just had a big hug from David Wagner. Kwana, some final words from Nick Colgan. A big hug as well from David Wagner. You have to say, Kachunga doesn't look too impressed about that decision. He's not very happy. And if I can lip read, it's probably not something entirely broadcastable. He's just punched his seat. He's coming to sit down. I'm disappointed to come off, Ilias Kachunga.
I think if he'd not taken that booking, he probably would have stayed on the pitch. I think Wagner could feel he was getting that pumped up that he's just one more challenge away, one more rash decision from Kachunga, and Town would have been down to 10 men.
Casey Palmer on the bench for Town, as yet an unused sub, consoles his friend and teammate. Kachunga is upset. Catherine read it right. His time will come in the Premier League, surely. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0 with 66 minutes on the clock. And Reading come forward and win a throw-in. It's sent back to Ilori. Van der Parra, a thorn in Reading's side, now helps out the defence. To an inspirational echoing noise from the Huddersfield Town fans at the far end of the ground from the Town players at the moment. Town sit back, hold their positions, now including Colin Kwana down the right-hand side. Here comes more, rhythmic chanting. Reading in possession. On halfway. Blackett finds Evans. Evans rolls it inside Kwana, who knows how to defend. Kwana intercepts. Stops Obita. And then has his pass charged down. Tommy Smith takes the rebound and left foots it upfield. Reading meet it, but simply send it downfield for a goal kick. Good enough from Huddersfield Town. 0-0, 67 gone.
Thank you for everyone getting in touch. Northern Lass, come on Huddersfield, we need you in the Premier League. That's on Twitter at WYS Daily. And hi to Shirley, Julian, Sharon, listening on Radio Leeds. Come on, U-Town. That's on text 81333. Start message with WYS. Thank you, ladies, for getting in contact.
Colin Kwana does his thing. He jumps up against the fresh Reading sub Obita. Obita forced to make the challenge, flicks it with his hair, and it's out of play for a throw into Huddersfield Town, 70 yards downfield as a result. An oft-used tactic and so effective. Naki Wells receives the throw-in from Smith and switches left. Löwe finds Van der Parra, and Town are in the final third at Wembley. Van der Parra teases Gunter, left edge of the box, a dance step, then the chip, it's headed away. Aaron Moy, his shot's blocked by Obita in the Reading penalty area. Kwana, full of energy, collects the ball, links with Tommy Smith, and Huddersfield Town stay inside Reading's half for the moment. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Town work it down the left. A tackle on Wells, but it runs loose for Löwe. Wells again, an early run to the box by Hogg. Wells in possession has been fouled by Gunter. Free kick Huddersfield Town, 25 yards out and left of centre. Yeah, this time was definitely a foul. A shove in the back from the Reading player, and this is definitely a shootable free kick. Just got to make sure you get on the target, make the keeper make a save, or hopefully feel the ripple in the back of the net. The Huddersfield Town fans inside Wembley and all around the world sense a chance, with 70 minutes gone, of the playoff final. It's left of centre, but it's shootable. Naki Wells or Aussie Aaron Moy to test the Reading keeper Al Habsi. The Town fans can't wait for the strike to come. Naki Wells has scored from here before. Reading have built a substantial wall, joined now by Brown and Haefele, but the free kick hits it, and it's out of play for a throw.
He's got enough distance to get this ball up and down. He's got to get over the wall, at least test Al Habsi.
Town's throwing 10 yards inside Reading's half. You can feel the tension, but it's positive tension from Huddersfield Town fans, as you can hear. Izzy Brown takes them on, finds Van der Parra with no room to manoeuvre. Van der Parra's cross is blocked by Ilori, and now Danny Williams brings it away, releases John Swift, and Swift powers forward. Reading have got numbers on the right-hand side. An early cross. Here's Graban. Wonderful challenge by Michael Haefele at the near post. He read it like a book, and if the big German hadn't been there, Reading could have scored. Now Town clear and chase. The pressure is now on Reading to clear themselves, and as we enter the last 20 minutes of the Championship playoff final, we're still none the wiser as to who's going to the Premier League. Michael Haefele with the challenge of the match, shoulders off Graban, and switches a wonderful diagonal ball to find Rajiv Van der Parra. Van der Parra into the penalty area, takes it away from Ilori, chips it goalwards, but it's a dolly into the hands of Ali El Habsi. You can barely watch this. It's 0-0.
Yeah, backwards and forwards now, but Haefele has done absolutely superb there. Fully concentrated, fully committed, followed his man all the way into the 18-yard box, because that was a good ball into the box from the Reading player. Superb. Van der Parra as well, all his jinking, he's done it well again, but chips it straight into Al Habsi. Come on, Van der Parra, let's see something a bit special.
Gareth McCleary, the Jamaican, poised to come off the bench and onto the field where he scored 2 years ago in the FA Cup semi-final in defeat against Arsenal. Yapstam instructs him in the foreground as Reading pick up possession inside their own half. 18 minutes left at normal time. 0-0 it stands, and Reading switch play to their right-hand side, but Chris Löwe calmly side puts the pass away, intercepting as he does so to find Rajiv Van der Parra. Van der Parra finds Hogg, and Huddersfield Town keep the ball inside their own half. Schindler, Löwe. Town in possession, confident, full of promise. The fans full of passion, emotion, adoration. The songs echoing round Wembley as Tommy Smith, the captain, roars forward. Brown in midfield, thought about a shot, linked right with Moy, but the pass is overhit and it's floated out for a Reading throw.
You just want further evidence of how close this game is. The stats: Huddersfield 45% of possession, 55 for Reading. Total shots 8 to Town, 7 Reading, 1 apiece on target. Even stuff like clear-cut chances, Town lead by 2-0. There's things like tackles. 9 out of 13 completed for both sides. It is that even a game between these two sides. Headed clearances 5 apiece. Clearances 11 to 13. Saves 1 apiece by the goalkeepers. Fouls committed 7 to 10. Reading committing more than Huddersfield Town, and yellow cards 2 apiece. It shows just how tight this game is between these two sides.
Reading have got a completely fresh left side now because McCleary's on instead of Graben. A beat of the other sub behind him. 16 minutes left of normal time at Wembley. Still 0-0 between Reading and Huddersfield Town. Aaron Moy wins a throw-in off Danny Williams. And then Williams intercepts a pass between Smith and Moy, and Tommy Smith has fouled Williams. I think he might have taken one for the team there, Tommy Smith. And he'll become the 3rd Huddersfield Town player to see a yellow card.
Yeah, it's come from his own sloppy play. It was an easy pass back to Moy, he's not put enough on it, and then he's had to commit the foul as the Williams was going forward. But yeah, you need to capitalise now. You can feel the tension now as it's going on, because one goal could be enough for someone as it gets closer to that 90th minute.
Liam Moore for Reading. Midway inside his own half, he brings Ilori in, and Ilori finds Gunter. Gunter switches down the right-hand side. McCleary steps in behind Chris Schindler but can't get past Löber. The clearance has been charged down. McCleary's early cross is plucked from the Wembley air by Danny Ward, the Huddersfield keeper. And he bowls it. And he finds captain Tommy Smith. And Smith runs to halfway before linking with Colin Quaner. Quaner stopped in his tracks by Blackett. And Huddersfield Town knock it forward. An early run by Aaron Moy. He's stolen in behind the Reading defence. Aaron Moy in the Wembley penalty area. Quaner stumbles and puts it wide. The pass wasn't meant for him. Moy's cross effectively hit Quaner on the run, and it's gone wide. Goal kick.
Yeah, there was cover in place for Reading though. If Quaner didn't take it, I think there would have been a Reading play to clear it, but great movement from Aaron Moy.
Pitch side at Wembley. Is the tension as unbearable down there, Catherine Hanna?
Yeah, it really is. And again, the subs bench on their feet at that glorious opportunity for Quaner, which just came to him unexpected. We've also had the official attendance here at Wembley today, 76,682. And away to my left-hand side, Casey Palmer continues his warm-up. Are we going to see him back in a Huddersfield Town shirt, back playing for the first time since February?
Kermagant, the big Frenchman, still working hard up front, keeping the ball in play after Al-Habsi's goal kick. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Aaron Moy charges forward, holds off Williams, and then Moy gets back to his feet. Williams snaps at him. Back comes Moy, like two boxers toe to toe. Wonderful contest, and Moy's come up with the possession. Quaner, Hogg, switches play to the Huddersfield left. 14 left at Wembley. Chris Löber dribbles forward. Wells, Löber in the box. He's thwarted by Ilori. And the pass back to Al-Habsi allows Reading to release it. Good stuff from both teams. Izzy Brown, confident, a swerving run. Links with Quaner. Town in possession, inside Reading territory. Man on John Hogg. The shout came from the Town fans just in time. And now Aaron Moy, who's had a great 10 minutes, dictates play again. Naki well switches, but it's too far. Too straight for Raji van la Parra. And and it's out for a Reading throw.
Yeah, Moy's done really well because he's driving forward and doing things quicker. He's just slowed the game down there, and I don't think the game needed that. I think when you've got Reading against the ropes, which they have now, they're pushing forward and forward, keep getting that ball forward and putting them under pressure while they're breathing quite heavy. He just slowed down at the wrong time there, I think, Aaron Moy.
More roars and songs of encouragement from the Huddersfield Town fans inside Wembley. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. A nod on by Kermaghan, and here's McCleary skipping past Hayfler. Hayfler body checks him, and Reading have a free kick 30 yards from goal. McCleary, tricky, with good feet.
Yeah, good feet. So Heffler's tried to hold his ground and he's dangled the leg. The ball's just gone over it, and it's a shooting opportunity as well. He had to make the challenge though because the player was going through.
Reading now have a big discussion amongst themselves as to who's going to strike this. It is a long way from goal. 79 minutes gone. In the playoff final to decide who goes to the Premier League. Still no score. You'd expect Danny Ward to save this. Swift, the ex-Chelsea man, looks favourite to strike it for Reading. Huddersfield Town have a long wall building with Quana, Moy from the Para, Brown and possibly even Jonathan Hogg in the construction. They've got to watch the space behind the wall as much as anything else because McCleary looks as if he's got a trick up his sleeve here. Town watch on, and Swift does chip it over the top. Well read by Town's defenders. Superb header away by Chris Lober.
Yeah, I think I'll give you the fact that you read it from up here as well. They've advertised it down there and close on the pitch, but still, you've got to be switched on. And exactly what Huddersfield were there, because sometimes those free kicks do get through.
0-0 it might be. Chances they might have missed, but there ain't much wrong with this Huddersfield Town team, I'll tell you.
No, there's not.
There are some fabulous players.
Yeah.
And Chris Lover's just one of them. The treat, tense though it might be, could be that we get extra time. 10 minutes of normal time left. And it's still Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0. It'll shred our nerves, but that's Huddersfield Town for you.
Yeah, and it's the commitment that both teams are showing.
Gunter steals in behind. Gunter's early cross. Hayfler blocks the cross at the near post with his third or fourth, possibly life-saving challenge of the match. Corner.
Absolutely superb from Heffler again, because that was a guaranteed goal if he's doesn't make that challenge. An unbelievable piece of defending from Heffler again.
Well, Michael Hayfler has come up with some performances for Town this season, but his best three have all been in the playoffs. Reading's corner with 9 minutes of normal time left in the playoff final. The Huddersfield Town fans look on with tension in their facial expressions. Some are praying. Town have got a mark up in the penalty area. A floated cross. Hayfler heads away, and Brown helps it further on. Still, the Town defenders have got to concentrate. Obita's ball, near post, flicked on by Ilori. Who's there again? It's Hayfler to shin it out for another corner.
Who's marking the Reading player? He stood there on his own. Somebody needs to make sure that nobody's free in the 18-yard box.
The Reading fans' noise suggests that they fancy their chances. Still, Huddersfield Town have to defend. 0-0 in the playoff final. Obita whips the corner in. Longer this time. Superb punch from Danny Ward.
Great punch.
And Evans collects for Reading's blue and white hoops. Brown does the chasing. Town shift left in defence. Obita crosses from deep. Quana's back to head up in the air. And Izzy Brown should collect this. It's actually a clever flick clear. Wells has rolled Williams, and a counter-attack suddenly gently starts to build. Aaron Moy cuts a pass that he had no right to make into the feet of Izzy Brown. And this is a wonderful, wonderful possession from Town. Backs to the wall. They're suddenly on the roll. Van der Parra rolls it himself from foot to foot. Switches left and right. Finds Hogg. Town have got numbers upfield. Tommy Smith's tackled. And that's great defensive work by Reading's Kermorgan. Sometimes you've got to praise the opponent.
Yeah, he's done well there. He spotted the danger of Smith about to strike the ball. But I think Smith has caught his foot and he's in a bit of trouble.
Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. And with captain Tommy Smith lying down on the ground. Town have voluntarily knocked it out of play with 7 minutes left of normal time. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. And pitch side is Catherine Hanna.
Yeah, Tommy Smith just about to get some treatment. I can just see over my left shoulder, down at the entrance to the tunnel, Casey Palmer in deep discussion with Christoph Bühler, getting some instructions. It looks very much as though Casey Palmer could be coming on. In fact, he's just taken off his orange bib that he's been using during his warm-up. He's taken his shirt off. Casey Palmer is coming on. For the first time since February, we're going to see him back for Huddersfield Town. Tommy Smith still getting some treatment out on the pitch, and the rest of the players just grabbing a quick water break. More instructions from head coach David Wagner as we enter the closing stages of this absolutely gripping contest.
Izzy Brown, Aaron Moy, Jonathan Hogg come over to chat with head coach David Wagner during the stoppage, and the Reading players are clustered round coach Stam. We're concerned about Tommy Smith, the Town skipper, who's hurt but won't want to come off. More encouragement from the Town fans. They've spotted him. Not seen since the derby against Leeds United when he came off injured. Casey Palmer is coming on to try and turn the playoff final in Huddersfield Town's favour. He's got a body to be jealous of. And he's showing it off to cause a ripple of admiration all around, male and female, in this stadium. 5 minutes left once we get back underway. BBC Radio Leeds FM, digital and on your Freeview channel 719, with you across the world via Town Player on the official Huddersfield Town website. Is this the moment that turns the playoff final Huddersfield Town's way? It's Casey Palmer time.
Well, we know he's got magic in his boots, and you know what I mean, he's going to be raring to go. It's been too long since we've seen him on a football pitch, and he's going to be absolutely bursting to do something special and help Huddersfield Town get to the Premier League. Let's just hope he gets an opportunity or fashions one for himself. It'll be interesting to see who they're taking off.
Tommy Smith's still down. There are signals from the medical staff and the referee that Tommy Smith is so injured that he's going to have to be carried off the field. Palmer, meanwhile, has put his bib back on.
But it's on with Martin Crane. He's going to have to come on now, so Palmer may have to wait his chance.
Well, if ever you needed a go-to man on the bench, Mr. Versatility, Martin Craney. Are we reading it right, Catherine, pitch side?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked for all the while that Casey Palmer was about to come on until that injury to Tommy Smith. Now it's Martin Craney who's just done a quick warm-up and is now in conversation with Christoph Bühler down pitch side. So it looks like the planned substitution that David Wagner was going to make due to that injury to Tommy Smith has had to be changed. Now it will be Martin Craney who now takes off his orange bib and is getting ready to come onto the pitch for Huddersfield Town.
And David Wagner turns round with a little smirk on his face because he knows his substitution plan for now has been thwarted. Still, he's like a kid in a sweet shop. He knows he's still got Casey Palmer to spend before the playoff final's out. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. The clock showing 3.5 minutes left of normal time, but there'll be some substantial injury time added on because of this stoppage and the treatment to Tommy Smith. Yeah, he's just kicked the bottom of the Reading player's foot, and so that can be really painful. You've got a lot of small bones there in the striking part of the top of your foot. He's obviously in a lot of pain. He would not want to be leaving this pitch, especially not on a stretcher.
on your messages at WYS Daily. Andrew P. Sykes inside the ground says, what a nervy last 10 minutes for all of us Town fans in the ground. He's texting and tweeting from the ground itself at WYS Daily. You can also text 81333, start your message with WYS. And the post-match show will be available online at the BBC iPlayer radio app. So you'll be able to hear us down in London. If you are listening back in Huddersfield or West Yorkshire, anywhere, please get our message to the Town fans down here so they can listen to us post-match on their way back up the M1, hopefully celebrating a Town promotion.
Tommy Smith gets a personal anthem from the Huddersfield Town fans on their feet, roaring him off. Though Smith himself is lying down on a stretcher. He'll be distraught at not seeing the game out, but it looks like a nasty injury. And this Huddersfield Town team would be nowhere without their modern era skipper. Smith will play no further part in the Championship playoff final, but he'll probably be the first name on the team sheet next season, whichever division Town are playing in. Martin Craney is on, and Huddersfield Town have still got one substitution left.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Tommy Smith. He's had an exceptional year, but the lads have got to do the job now. Hopefully do it for him and drive on and win the game.
Colin Quaner gallops into the Reading half and lays the ball off after beating two Reading players for power. He finds Izzy Brown. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. We're in the last 2 minutes of normal time, but I think we can add safely 5 on, if not more.
Yeah, at least. Well, good thing is you've got a ready-made replacement in Martin Craney, who's not let anyone down this season. He's been excellent himself when called upon.
And Chris Powell's work will not be forgotten. It was Powell who persuaded Martin Craney to come for a casual-looking trial one summer, and he's been a real deputy for Tommy Smith in this right-back position. Oh, when the Town belts out again around the west end of Wembley, Quaner puts pressure on Blackett, and Blackett is happy to see the ball drift off Town's big German for a throw into Reading. It's the Championship playoff final, heading for extra time and more. It's Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. BBC Radio Leeds live inside Wembley. You'll not miss a trick here on FM or digital, or Freeview BBC Radio Leeds on channel 719. Or maybe Huddersfield Town can find a dramatic winner. Lurber's inside Reading territory. He holds off Ilori and supplies Rajiv Van der Parra. Van der Parra dances this way and that, testing Gunter. He lays it off towards Brown. Brown attacks the Reading penalty area and wins a corner for Huddersfield Town as 7 minutes of injury time are signalled by the officials.
Big chance now, big chance. If you score now, you'd like to think that's the end of the game. Some quality from Moy, get some bodies in the box.
Injury time in the Championship playoff final. In front of the Huddersfield Town fans, Aaron Moy sets up the corner. Still 0-0. What's Aaron Moy got up his sleeve? A high, wide outswinger beyond Michael Hakeler, who'll chase it with every bone in his body. He stretched, he stumbled, and he drops to the deck with cramp, you suspect. Understandably so.
Understandably, he's been absolutely immense this afternoon, but from Aaron Moy, not at this time of the game. Need more quality from, you know what I mean, one of the real driving forces of this season. Got to do better there, just brings everyone down. And there's such lack of quality on that corner. That's your big chance at the end there. Get it in the mixer, keep it alive, let someone be a hero in there. To be fair, I've cramped up watching Heffler this afternoon. He's got to everything.
His teammates helping out with the traditional stretching when a man's got cramp. And Hakeler bounds back to his defensive position. And a skillful turning half volley pass downfield keeps the pressure on Reading. Swift has fouled on the para. For goodness sake, referee. Reading have sent the ball clear when surely there was a free kick in Town's favour. McCleary attacks the penalty area. Crossfield ball. Gunter's header over the bar. But if that had counted, it would have been a scandalous way to finish the playoff final.
Yeah, if they would have scored from that, there have been some very, very angry people in this stadium. I don't know what the referee's seen from where we're sitting. That looked like a definite foul, if not a booking.
Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. It might be worth getting some extra supplies for the barbecue back home, though we hear it's not exactly barbecuing weather in West Yorkshire today. Still stifling, humid, overcast heat at Wembley. And still we're in injury time as Haefele challenges Kermorgant and leaves some in there on his shin. Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. Town need to keep Reading at bay. Moyes snaps at Williams. That's been a fantastic contest all day long. Swift switches play to the right via Evans. And here's Ilori. And now Gunter, the Welsh captain, knocks it over the top. Evans still chasing. Christopher Schindler wins a clever throw-in. Changing his body position and knocking it onto his opponent's legs. It's out for a Town play.
Yeah, two centre-halves again. Good play. Just slows it down again when Reading are having a decent little bit of possession. Just takes the sting out of their attack.
Haefele will jockey the ball over the byline. And he looks up at his goalkeeper, Danny Ward, who's the first to high-five him. Ward will take the goal kick. Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. And this performance from David Wagner's Chargers has had everything but a goal in it. Some absolutely wonderful performance in defence and midfield. Some inventive attacking, but chances not taken, especially early on. Quana nods the ball forward to find Naki Wells, but more is there. Reading have it taken off them by Quana again. Injury time at Wembley. Quana takes it off Obita. Supplies Izzy Brown. Brown teases Evans and lays it off to Moy. Can Town find a dramatic winner? Moy switches down the flank. Brown didn't read it. And the ball's gone over the byline. For a goal kick, it's a move that had so much promise, but no end product. And it signals that we're probably going into extra time to decide who goes to the Premier League.
For me, Moyes looking a little bit fatigued over these last few minutes. He's put obviously a massive shift in. A couple of decisions there, wandering out, not getting forward as much as he was. He needs to find that second win, third, fourth win, whatever he needs, just to see this game out.
Another long clearance from Ali Al-Habsi. Town deal with it. A rare slice from Aaron Moy inside his own half. Swift and McCleary come up against Martin Craney. And the ball's come off Town, and then off Reading, and then probably off another player from either side. Ref tossed a coin for that decision, I think, and it's a throw into Huddersfield.
Yeah, so good defending. Craney's gone right through two Reading players there. Really warmed himself into the game quickly, which isn't easy under these circumstances.
Seconds left of injury time. Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. A minute more, maybe. Maximum. Kermorgant teased the ball over the top. Craney's there to thwart McCleary, and he nods it out of play for a Reading throw-in, level with the left edge of the penalty area. 1 more minute left of the 7 minutes added on as injury time. We're heading for extra time, but Town need to keep Reading out. Swift gets away from Quana. Right-footed Swift, way wide. He shanked it wastefully. And Danny Ward tutted at that ball as it went past his near post. Goal kick.
It was wasteful, but that was a little bit too easy for him to get through there. It was a tired leg from the Reading player. Should have done better, really. But say Town will take that.
Still Huddersfield Town work, and still their direct traffic from the back. Schindler and Haefele in separate conversations with upfield teammates, waving their arms. And Craney talks to Colin Quana down his right flank. Now we're into the final few seconds of injury time, but Huddersfield Town have the ball on the left side with Chris Löber. One last attack maybe to try and snatch a dramatic winner. Izzy Brown slips but recollects. He plays a one in towards Wells, who shoots. Al-Habsi smothers it. There's no power on the shot. If ever you needed a goalkeeping mistake, it was then. But as Al-Habsi smothers Wells' daisy-cutting shot, the referee blows up for 90 minutes. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. And after a thoroughly engrossing, nerve-shredding first 90 minutes, we're going to go into extra time to decide who snatches that final place in next season's Premier League.
We saw Michael Haefele down on the pitch getting some more treatment from Dr. John Iger for that cramp in his left leg, so he was busy getting treatment for that. Casey Palmer is here just making his way back to his seats now. I'm pretty sure he's going to be making an appearance sometime in the next 30 minutes. It's absolutely all to play for. How's your nerves, people?
Well, it might just be because it's hot, but Casey Palmer hasn't put his tracksuit and training top back on. He's got his kit on and only got the bib over that now, which maybe does signal, as Catherine said, he will come on at one point. Both sides have one sub left to make. Jonathan Hogg is now the captain for Huddersfield Town, with Tommy Smith going off injured. They've tossed the coin. It's Town that will get us underway. They'll go towards the Reading fans in this first half, so it's like the normal game. And then in the second half, they will attack their own fans. They'll hopefully be sucking that ball into the back of the net to get Town a winner. We said it was the biggest 45 minutes for Town as that second half got underway. It's now the biggest 30 minutes of these players' lives and this club's life. Extra time in the Championship playoff final. It's going to go down to the wire for Huddersfield Town Reading for a place in the Premier League next season on BBC Radio Leeds with Matt Glennon and Paul Ogden.
And that's fine by us Huddersfield Town fans as Town kick off the first half of extra time. Who wants this season to end? Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Town are attacking the left-hand end as we look at it, the eastern end of Wembley in this first half. And Aaron Moy toes the ball onto the edge of the penalty area. Reading clear through Liam Moore. Williams switches play to Gunter. And now McCleary collects the pass over halfway. Reading advancing down the right. Williams hooks a volley pass towards the byline, and Christopher Schindler knows exactly what to do. Christopher Schindler's the man who you wanted the team in this situation. And he jockeys the ball over the byline to allow keeper Danny Ward to take the goal kick. Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0. We've known all season that Town are the fittest team Town have ever had. And this is where it might come to fruition.
Yeah, there's going to be some lactic acid built up in those legs now. It's all about who doesn't make a mistake, who can concentrate for the full 120 minutes. Saying we're hoping it's Huddersfield Town.
Town in fluoro and black hoops, black shorts and black socks. Reading in hoops themselves, blue and white. Trying to defend against the galloping Colin Quana. Quana all alone to the byline, takes on Blackett. Blackett throws his body in the way and concedes a corner. Wonderful physical effort from Huddersfield Town's Colin Quana.
Yeah, great combination between Brown and Quana there. Quana is so awkward. You know, he's tall, he's big, he's strong, and when he's running at you, I'd say it'd be quite intimidating, especially when he gets past you.
Can Huddersfield Town hit the front early in extra time? Aaron Moy with the corner from the far right-hand side. There's movement at the front and back post in the penalty area. Schindler and Haefele are running. Moy makes a stuttering run-up. It's a low one. A flick by Brown, towed away by Evans from the edge of his 6-yard box. And Town will get a throw in backfield.
Yeah, interestingly as well, Andy Hughes was out there. They've talked about that, I think, after the full time, and said, let's do something different with the corners. We're not getting any joy. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work this time.
Martin Craney on as a sub for the injured Tommy Smith since the later part of normal time. Takes the throw-in, and Huddersfield Town enter Reading territory again. Haefele chips one high over the top. Ilori chesting the ball, just about sure where all his opponents were. Correctly back to Al-Habsi, and the Reading keeper bowls it out to the same teammate. Reading in possession with Evans. Swift, heavy with his collection of that pass, but he retrieves it and sends it forward. And Kermorgant, the Frenchman, is drifting, linking with Swift again down the left-hand side. Swift draws Jonathan Hogg towards him and lays it short for Obita. Obita has got Colin Corner of Huddersfield Town for company. Back it goes to Blackett, playing deeper now. Nice neat turn by Swift on the ball, but he stumbles. That's a tired piece of play by an otherwise skillful opponent for Huddersfield Town. And yet another sign that Town have got the right fitness levels for this kind of job. What say you with a closer look at the pitch than us, Catherine Hanna?
Yeah, absolutely the case. You would have to back Huddersfield Town in a battle over fitness. You would back them every day of the week, you have to say. Some movement down on the Reading bench. They might be looking to make their third throw of the dice. Some conversations between Andreas Ulgrink, the assistant manager, there at the moment. So possibly a sub coming on for Reading shortly.
Looks like Liam Kelly who they're talking to. Reading attack in the first half of extra time, but Swift, for a second consecutive time, tired in possession. A woeful pass that's gone clean out for a throw-in.
Yeah, that's what you talk about. Your mind starts tiring, the fatigue starts setting in, and you make bad decisions. We've just seen two there from Reading.
Tommy Smith has got heavy ice packing around his right ankle as he makes his way to the bench area on crutches to lend his support, and that is so Tommy Smith to want to be part of the end game as Huddersfield Town try and seal the deal on a ticket to the Premier League. Chris Lerber knocks one over the top. Rajiv van der Parra made the early run for him, but it's intercepted by Liam Moore. Moy for Town, taps it forward. It's still needing to be brought down by Naki Wells. But a wayward pass by Chris Lerber is eaten up by Ilori, and it remains Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Mark Hudson's warming up alongside Casey Palmer. It may be a mind game from the Huddersfield Town bench, but it's great to have either of those two options up your sleeve yet.
So Hudson might just be soaking up the atmosphere. I mean, how many more of these finals he's got left in his legs?
Space for Reading to come through midfield with Evans on the ball. Everybody in the Huddersfield Town shirt back inside their own half to defend Williams and Blackett. Blackett drags it, plays it short. Evans pings it down the inside left channel. Swift takes it under pressure from Craney of Huddersfield Town, and still Reading have it with 6 minutes gone of extra time. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Reading going to Swift again, and Evans as Huddersfield Town hold their defensive positions. One wayward pass and Town could break from here, but Reading are keeping it with Obita switching play to the right hand side, and Ilori, and here's Chris Gunn to the Welshman. Williams standing square 15 yards inside Huddersfield territory. It goes back initially and then left to Blackett, who thought about a deep cross to Kermorgant. Kermorgant frustrated that it's not gone in. Now it does. Haefele nods it away and finds Rajiv van der Parra, bringing it down at Wembley with terrific confidence. Huddersfield Town in possession, locked at 0-0 against Reading. Any mistake now could be punished as Casey Palmer strips down for a second time. Is he poised to come on again, Catherine?
Yeah, I think this is going to be Casey Palmer's moment to come on. We're just waiting to find out who he's going to be replacing. We're also expecting a Reading substitute. You mentioned Joe Swift looking tired for them, and it's Liam Kelly who's likely to be replacing Joe Swift. Very highly rated Liam Kelly. Yep, still making comparisons apparently to the Spanish legend Iniesta. We shall see. But waiting to see who Casey Palmer will be replacing, just in conversation with Christophe Bouler right now.
Well, the thought of Casey Palmer and Izzy Brown let loose across the Wembley turf as Huddersfield Town try and snatch a ticket to the Premier League is one that will just hold right there. as Casey Palmer emerges at last from the Huddersfield Town bench, hugged by his head coach David Wagner. And in fact, it's one Huddersfield Town player on loan from Chelsea to replace another, Palmer for Brown.
Yeah, here we go now. Daisy Brown's going to be absolutely bursting. He's not going to be totally match sharp. He's in Wembley in front of 75,000 people. I think he'll be okay. That'll drive him through this game now. And say there's some tired Reading legs out there. If he can get the ball to Casey, let's see what he can do.
8 minutes gone of the first half of extra time. This will be a 15-minute half, then there'll be another 15. Anybody scores now, the match will not end, by the way, if you're wondering. It's not a golden goal. If we can't find a winner after the full half hour of extra time, it'll be a good old penalty shootout. Grids at the ready, West Yorkshire. It's Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. More noise from the Town end, but they're watching Reading come towards them. A high, deep shocker of a cross by Blackett.
Yeah, again, that's a tired leg again with a tired decision. Town have got to drive forward now, say, get Palmer on the ball, start going at some of these tired Reading players, push further up the pitch and see what they can do.
Huddersfield Town fans leading the noise with a song that is a throwback to the 2012 promotion season. Into the 10th minute of extra time. Huddersfield Town nil, Reading nil on BBC Radio Leeds FM and digital and Freeview Channel 719. Keep your messages coming from around the globe as well as at home in West Yorkshire. Town poised for the Premier League if they can nudge ahead. Craney makes a header to find Casey Palmer for the first time. Palmer in a tangle with Williams and the ball breaks for Evans. Hapeler jumps through the air and beats McCleary to it. Schindler, still full of energy, switches his feet, makes room and finds his fellow countryman Chris Löber for the downfield clearance. Naki Wells is beaten by Liam Moore, but it drops back to Löber on halfway. And Huddersfield Town can make some passes here. Aaron Moy allowed to turn. Reading don't like it, not least because Casey Palmer's on the ball. Löber and Palmer stepping over the ball, turning, then a straight one. Quana gets away from his marker, but he can't reach the pass, which was a beauty, but slightly overhit. And Al-Habsi read it well.
Yeah, really good run though as well from Quana. Well spotted, just unfortunately the execution wasn't there. But you see from Löber the fitness, exceptional.
Liam Kelly finds McCleary. McCleary shoots wide from 30 yards. He sliced it slightly. And though it had Huddersfield hearts in mouths, it was never on target. And it stays Reading nil, Huddersfield Town nil. And more minutes tick down that way.
Yeah, I mean you see Löber there doing a little trick, little flick, little one around the corner, finding his man. Just shows how fit that lad is. He's put some serious miles up and down that line, and don't forget he took a big blow in the first half. We thought he might have been struggling. Just need Van La Parra now to find his second win and get at that Reading right back and see what he's made of.
And now the Huddersfield Town fans are bouncing, milking every second of the Wembley experience as half-time in extra time approaches. Michael Hapeler has hit the deck in a particularly combative challenge, and he's holding his wrist of all things.
He must have landed funny.
When many other parts of his body are under serious pressure all afternoon. He'll be back on his feet in a sec, surely.
He will, but he's landed quite heavily on his elbow, I think there.
Should we get an update on how Tommy Smith's doing with caffeine?
Yeah, he's certainly back among the subs now. Great to see him back out here, but looking as though he's got quite a serious injury, coming back out on crutches. We'll try and get a bit more detail as to exactly what's happened with him. Heffler, meanwhile, is back on his feet. It looked like he felt very heavily on that arm there, and obviously, having thrown all their dice with regard to substitutions, the last thing that David Wayne and his coaching staff now is need for anybody to pick up another injury as this game approaches half-time of extra time.
Relentless noise from the fans in blue and white stripes and floral and black hoops. Some kits from way back when.
Yes.
In the many Huddersfield Town designs that we've enjoyed over the years. But this is a kind of supportive noise to bring a lump to your throat. Even though the scoreboard shows Town 0, Reading 0. Reading sportingly play the ball back.
Yeah, it's been a really well-played game, I think, that way. There's been a few challenges, but no one's gone over the top, no one arguing, screaming, shouting. It's been played in a really good spirit, as it should be.
And Town have it again with Michael Heffler back on his feet. Heffler curves a ball forward from deep, but it's a good strong header from Kelly that knocks it forward after Moore's interception. Now Obita in the hoops of Reading. Colin Quaner's back defending, and he chases up the touchline to force Obita to clip it back for Blackett. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Rugby League fans, your post-match reaction and continued Rugby League coverage continues on 774 AM, by the way, if you're wondering where it's all happening. Still Reading in possession with extra time, half-time approaching. Off the field, Town have won it hands down. This is just wonderful. Their team is now being thwarted by some fairly desperate gamesmanship from Reading, who are tiring before our eyes here at Wembley.
Well, you see Quaner open his legs up. You've either got to grab him and stop him early doors, or the way he's away from you. That's exactly what he was about to do then. He's just about to open his legs up, and the Reading players grabbed his shirt, brought him back and slowed it play. Clever play from the Reading player, but unfortunate for Quaner.
And the funny thing is that was a sub Obita who committed the foul.
Yeah.
Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. Championship playoff final. Nothing to choose between the teams that finished 3rd and 5th in the final table. And still Huddersfield Town make the passes. Hogg finds Heffler. Right side, Quaner playing in the right back position suddenly. Criney ties a cheeky chip down the touchline. But Reading put it out of play. 2 more minutes will be added on to the first half of extra time. And there are still no goals. You get the feeling that any defensive slip now could be punished by a breakaway.
Yep, especially with a couple of sets of fresh legs on there as well.
Reading midway inside their own half. Ilori rolls it right. Gunter pings it back under pressure from Rajiv Vandapara, who we haven't seen on the ball for a while. Can't wait for his next shimmy and dance. A noise level unprecedented even on a day like today, as Town watch their cult hero Aaron Moy barrel forward, but he's tackled by McCleary, and Reading have nicked the ball off Huddersfield Town. In extra time, first half injury time, Kelly pokes it, McCleary on the edge of the box, left-footed, inches wide from McCleary's left foot. Goal kick.
Yeah, that's a chance for him. They just seemed to step through the gears a little bit there. Reading looked a little bit fresher than they have done the last 10 minutes. That's just a little warning shot, a little shot across the bows, they say, just to say, look, you've not won this game yet, we're not going to penalties, we're going to try and win this. Just got to be careful of the line as well, Town. They're just starting to drop a little bit too much, and not in a straight line either.
The Huddersfield Town fans can't help falling in love with their team. And there's more to come. Seconds left of first half. Extra time. No more time. There'll be a quick turnaround. And fittingly, the final segment of open play in the whole of this press.
Full of inspirational words. You know what I mean? Get a drink, they'll have a little drink, little freshener, and just say to them how well they're doing. Give them that extra little bit of confidence, that extra 5% that they might need just to push on and get a winner before it goes to the lottery of penalties. You know what I mean? Certain players really react to some positive information from coaches and managers. So hopefully one of them Town players is that kind of player.
How are your nerves now, West Yorkshire? 15 minutes between Huddersfield Town, Reading, penalties and the Premier League. West Yorkshire Sport, BBC Radio Leeds, Matt Glenn and Paul Ogden.
15 minutes left. Huddersfield Town attacking the end populated by their own fans in the decisive section of open play, possibly in the Championship playoff final. Town playing from left to right. Wouldn't you want to be on the conversations that were going on between that extra time interval between Wagner and his coaches, Van der Parra, Dean Whitehead cuddling Rajiv Van der Parra, saying one more half. Elias Kachunga devastated at being substituted, but encouraging Colin Quana to get in behind. Here's Aaron Moy barrelling forward for Town. Quana overlaps. Good tackle, Blackett, to put it out for a Huddersfield Town throw-in.
Yeah, Quana has done well there, but he should already be there. I think he should be a bit further pushed on. You've got to concentrate on defending, but to say he is a sub, he should have a bit more energy than the rest of the lads.
Casey Palmer begging for the ball as Craney comes forward. The final half of injury, the final half of extra time. A cross by Craney, headed back towards Craney by Ilori. It's still Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0, and Reading is sitting back. As Schindler heads the ball back towards the Reading box. A big header by Palmer to try and release Wells. But a good piece of defending by Blackett. And now Reading have it with Kermaghan. There's an early run downfield by Gareth McCleary. McCleary gets there before Christopher Schindler. The Jamaican, strong, aggressive. He pushes his way past Schindler, but Chris Löber bails his compatriot out. And Huddersfield Town break away after some wonderful defending. Watch Rajiv Van der Parra got up his sleeve. Some wonderful control for a start. A switch of feet from left to right and back again. Then he turns possession in field for Aaron Moy. Moy curves one across the park to bring in Martin Craney. Town have got numbers upfield in extra time. 0-0 at Wembley. Quana attacks. I think he's won a corner there. So does the referee. And Town will come again.
Yeah, well done, Colin Quana. Just always make sure you get something, keep that ball live, corner, free kick, shot on target, anything, and that's exactly what he's done. But I'm just going to have to go back to Chris Schindler then. 50-yard run in the second half extra time, in this heat, under this pressure. Absolute phenomenal athlete.
All season long, Huddersfield Town have maintained unprecedented fitness levels. Secured victories late. Now they're going to have to do so in the playoff final. A corner from the right. Löber delivers. Haefler just doesn't get there. It curves away from the Reading defenders. And Haefler himself. And goes away for a goal kick.
That's happened one or two many times now. Löber and Moy have superb quality going into the box, but we've done it, I'd say, 3, 4, 5 times now where they've overhit the ball and it's gone out of play. Unforgivable for players of their quality.
Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0. BBC Radio Leeds FM and digital, as well as you on Channel 3 U9. With Catherine Hanna doing a great job for us pitch side. What are you watching, Catherine?
And a couple of rows in front of me, Elias Kachunga, I swear, is kicking every ball like he was still on the pitch, absolutely roaring his teammates to attack, shouting encouragement. Izzy Brown on his feet next to him as well. They are desperate for the Town to get something here. Grabbed a quick word with Tommy Smith as well, asked him how he was doing. Rueful smile, yeah, okay, but his right ankle looking very sore and swollen, protective boot on it.
Rajiv Van der Parra twisting, pushing his way past the Reading defenders, but the ball doesn't run free for him off Ilori. And the clearance by Gunter is long and high and straight. Schindler beats McCleary in the air. Williams stumbles. Referee thinking of advantage. It was a fair challenge by Jonathan Hogg. And it's very poor of Williams to ask the ref to yellow card Hogg there, because that was a very honest extra time challenge by both players.
And that would be a sending off. So that would be a disaster. Hogg couldn't really get out of the way of that. And the ball had gone anyway. Williams had lost control. Town had possession. Referee should have played on.
And for all the superlatives of Huddersfield Town's fitness and spirit and wonderful support here at Wembley, at the back end they've still got to defend for another 11 minutes. Kermorgan's ball into the box is overhit. Kelly chases it, but Danny Ward jockeys it over the byline for a goal kick. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. We still don't know who's going to the Premier League.
Yeah, you're right. I'll say it's 10 minutes to go. Town can't think that they've got this in the bag or it's going to penalties. It takes one moment of brilliance and you lose the game.
Just watching, Hayfield is still really wary of that left wrist, which is bandaged. He apparently hurt it in that near post challenge in the second half, and then of course hurt it again when he fell over. Definite injury for Hayfield, but battling through very, very bravely there to sum up that Town Terrier spirit to get them to the Premier League, putting the bodies on the line.
Casey Palmer teases Williams, but the ball runs free for Kermorgan and he knocks it forward, but McCleary's offside, just as Town fans winced at the space available to the Jamaican. We looked and saw the flag we needed. Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0, to a backdrop of yet another anthem of stand-up. If you love the Town, from the wonderful West Yorkshire sport inside Wembley.
The fans have exerted as much energy today as the players, I think, and I'm sure they all are back at home in West Yorkshire and in Huddersfield. Don't know about your guys, but my nerves are shot. No Lales left. Town really giving us our money's worth. I think I need a stiff drink. Yes, I think so do we all. And Liz Green, who you can hear from 6 to 9 every morning on BBC Radio, leads a fantastic show. Also said, I need a gin at the moment. My nerves are also shattered.
Liz, pass the bottle, will you? We all feel the same. Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0 on BBC Radio Leeds. Fitness suggests that Town could yet have a winner up their sleeve in open play. You can't take your eyes off this. Throwing deep inside Reading territory. Craney throws short for Moore, who uses his wonderful upper body strength to hold off the wiry Evans. Then he dinks one back to Hapeler, who chips it forward. Colin Kwana, lanky, full of guile and strength, holds it against Blackett and finds Moy again, and Town are happy to keep it deep inside Reading territory with 8 minutes left. But Colin Kwana's lost control. The noise is one thing, but the images amongst Huddersfield Town supporters are another. There's a section of the official programme which says no limits. An article on Town spirit and slogan. There's a gentleman of my dad's age who's holding it up to inspire his fellow fans, but they're in the VIP section. There are grandmas behaving like teenagers at pop concerts. And there are kids who will never ever forget this. A performance to be proud of from a wonderful Huddersfield Town team, but the need to finish the job and snatch the ticket to Wembley. Reading come forward, Gunter on the right edge of the box, but so is Chris Lover. He hooks it away for a Reading throw-in.
Yeah, and rightly so as well. No chances from Chris Lover. This is not the time of the game now, taking any chances at all. If the ball's there to be got rid of, you get rid.
A rare burst of noise from the Reading fans. And they're still in this with 7 minutes of extra time left. Kelly, the academy product, with good feet, but he hasn't got the strength to get past Chris Lover. Out of play it goes for a Reading throw. It's Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0, and on this performance you've got to say it is a pity that one of these teams won't play in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, after a season's effort these two clubs have put in, and it's been a team effort from both sides as well. But say we're not going to be too sad if it's not ready. We'll be more than happy.
Reading's throw with 6 minutes left of extra time. Rajiv van der Parra makes a tackle. There's another one from Jonathan Hogg that the referee didn't like against Kelly. And the Reading player down. I beg your pardon, Gunter is the man down. And the ref gives the free kick. The boos are from the Reading fans because they want Jonathan Hogg booked. It ain't going to happen unless there are exceptional circumstances now in the final few minutes of extra time.
Some work to be done now. You want to see your big players, Heffler talking, demanding from the players around him. Big effort to be needed in the defence.
Jonathan Hogg appeals his innocence, not to the ref, but to an opponent from Reading, Evans. The ref gives him a ticking off.
Final warning.
And I'll say this for Neil Swarbrick, he's trying hard not to send anybody off at this stage. He's probably saying to Jonathan Hogg, I can't give you another chance now.
Yeah, rightly so. There's been 2 or 3 now where maybe could have got a yellow if he'd not got one already. So yeah, all credit to the referee not spoiling the game.
Pressure on the Huddersfield Town defence. Tension amongst the Town supporters at the other end of Wembley as Reading set up the free kick wide on their right hand side. Obita swings it in near post. It's headed away by Jonathan Hogg, and Palmer brings it down and steps forward to supply Naki Wells. Huddersfield Town pour forward at Wembley with 4 minutes left of extra time. Casey Palmer steps offside, then back on. He crosses. Naki Wells all alone. Puts the chance wide. Puts the chance wide. When Town could have won themselves a ticket to the Premier League.
He's just not got hold of the ball at all. Just put your foot through the ball and hit the target. He's just dragged it. Superb, like Katie Palmer, Kwana, excellent. Just unfortunate, Naki Wells. That was his big moment. That was his real match-winning moment. Hopefully he'll get one more before the end of this afternoon.
And that's the response from this modern-day Huddersfield Town crowd. More please. Reading are rocking. And Palmer's power and pace was one of the many elements of that counter-attack that undid them. Somehow it's still Reading 0, Huddersfield Town 0. The players slip and slide. Hogg decides to sort out a melee for himself. And he pokes the ball for Schindler to supply Löwe. Wells tries to roll his opponent and fouls more in doing so. It's a free kick to Reading midway inside their own half. And if nobody can find a winner in the next 3 or 4 minutes, penalties will decide which of these two teams goes to the Premier League next season.
Hi to the old soldier in wet home Firth. This certainly must end up in a penalty shootout. Our son and grandson are there at Wembley. We're listening to our Oggy as our satellite is out of commission. The good lady Anne is frantic and has started on the red wine already. Come on, Town. Sounds like I had then as well.
Yeah. Should put your match day teeth in.
2.5 minutes left of extra time. Huddersfield Town mark up on the left side of defence. Löwe and Schindler between them block Reading's raid. And now, Rajiv van der Parra, Town's left-sided magician, takes it to the touchline, juggles it, plays on his own, and then allows his teammates to come forward, as if there was no tension at all. Town raid right. Twainey chases a pass from Kwana. That's terrific defending by Jordan Obita of Reading to intercept and put it out of play. But this could be Huddersfield Town's chance to change their immediate future. An attack down the right. A throw in from Craney. Moy finds the thrower again. And Kwana links with Palmer. Reading have got numbers back. Palmer waits for a defender to come in. Moy's early cross is long and straight and beyond Wells. but still Gunter's forced to put it out of play by Rajiv van der Parra, who throws quickly to find Löwe, but Löwe has the ball taken off him by Liam Kelly, the young sub, and now Reading break. Town have got plenty of bodies back, and one of them is the man mountain by the name of Chris Schindler, who read it right, and Huddersfield Town bring the ball away from defence again. 1 more minute of extra time. Can Town find a winner and win their ticket to the Premier League?
Here's the chance.
A jink by Casey Palmer draws a foul out of Evans, and Town get a free kick in a very good position.
Yeah, 1 minute to go. Might as well chuck a couple of people forward now. It's going to be the last chance of this game. Need some quality into the box. This would be an unbelievable finish.
The tension is unbearable in some ways, but it's such positive tension from the players and these magnificent performers on the terraces wearing Huddersfield Town shirts. They're singing their team to victory if they can. 0-0 at Wembley with seconds left of extra time. A Town free kick 30 yards out. Chris Löwe is poised to deliver it. Here he comes left-footed, high delivery. Crady's there, but he doesn't reach it, and the ball beats him and goes for a goal kick.
Another great ball into the box. That's on target though. You don't know what's going to happen, but superb. Unluckily Mike Crady just couldn't quite get there. And here we go.
The referee has seen enough. He's given the players their chances. The final score in extra time at Wembley is Huddersfield Town 0, Reading 0, and penalties will decide which of these two magnificent teams will snatch that ticket to the Premier League.
We just knew, didn't we? It was going to go this way between these two fiercely competitive sides. One apiece during the league season in victories. One finished third, the other finished fifth with just 4 points between them.
First penalty of the shootout. A deep breath again, right-footed. Goal, ready. Low into the bottom corner. Danny Ward dived correctly. Oh, that could be the case because Chris Löwe is first. Left-footed. He scores for Huddersfield Town. It's 1-1 in the penalty shootout. Topped. Danny Williams is second up for Reading. Right-footed. He's in a rush. And he puts the ball into the bottom corner past Danny Ward. Reading lead the penalty shootout 2-1. Here comes Michael Hayfler, right-footed. And Al-Habsi saves. Low to his right. Michael Hayfler sinks to his knees. Shootout. And their third penalty comes from Liam Kelly, right-footed. It's in to the top corner. Scored with panache. Naki Wells needs to score this to give Town a chance. Right-footed Wells, he scores! Beautiful confidence from Naki Wells. He belts it past El-Habsi. With Reading's fourth to make it 4-2. Right-footed. He's placed over the bar. He's placed over the bar. In Aaron Moy to square up the penalty shootout. Moy right-footed. Scores into the bottom corner. Aaron Moy punches in celebration. In a penalty shootout. Reading come up with their fifth. And Danny Ward saves for the beater. Danny Ward dives low to his left. And suddenly, with one penalty remaining of the whole decisive shootout, Christopher Schindler has the chance to send Huddersfield Town into the Premier League. The tension is absolutely unbearable. Huddersfield's German defender Christopher Schindler has unbearable responsibility on his shoulders. Right-footed Schindler scores the goal that fires Huddersfield Town into the Premier League. In sporting terms, a life-changing moment that some must come true. Huddersfield Town really are on their way to face Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City and Manchester United, because Chris Schindler's penalty has made sporting history for Huddersfield Town. They've won the penalty shootout by 4 goals to 3, and Huddersfield Town are a Premier League team.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Chris Schindler, he deserved that. He's been absolutely immense all afternoon. Thoroughly deserves that. He's just unbelievable. Little boy there, crying his eyes out now to see. Yeah, unbelievable.
It's so fitting that Chris Schindler, one of the unsung heroes of the season, has slotted the penalty that has put Huddersfield Town into the Premier League as David Wagner throws his glasses off in celebration. He can hardly believe it as the Town players celebrate with the fans.